Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much, guys. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for joining me on Love Night with Spice. I really appreciate your presence here. Please, sorry, guys, as you come in, kindly help me thumbs up the stream and share out your community if you have any. Let's have more people come in and join in on this discussion. Once again, like I said, today is not one of those happy, day. Not as if I'm moody, but the topic of the day is the one that depresses the heart. And this is not the first time, neither is it the second time. This has been occurring over and over. And I just feel it's about time. We need to lend our voices on different platforms and do something about it. We just need to speak up. We need to open our mouth and talk. We need to put our heads together, put our thoughts together, and be able to come up with a solution. We know it may be almost impossible to eradicate things like this, but then we can reduce it to the barest minimum, to help more and more teenagers, more and more children. Going into the topic of today straight away is a teenager. A teenager. I saw a video last night while I was, of course, as a content creator, was surfing the net and just looking around what's happening. And I came across a post someone made, and it was a video of a young teenager, a young lady who deleted herself by hanging. Thank you, Fat Ninja. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by to give me the love and the like. I appreciate you. Thank you. If you can't stay around the corner a bit for me, okay. So the video is that of a young lady who deleted herself because she was served breakfast, like we say back in Nigeria. She was heartbroken. Her boyfriend called off their relationship. And then she fell into depression, or she was so angry she couldn't take it, and decided that the pain is too much for her to bear, and ended her life in such a very, very traumatizing way. I don't know the word to use. Agonizing way. It broke my heart when I came across this. Jane L, thank you so much. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you, Queen. Welcome. Please give me a thumbs up, Jane. Thank you so much. Greetings to you, Queen. I appreciate your presence here. So she deleted her life, in such an agonizing manner, in such a depressing, painful manner. And it got me thinking when I saw that video last night. It left me wondering what is happening. Why are more and more teenagers becoming so emotionally soft and not being able to take pain? What is going on? This isn't the first young girl to do this. She isn't the first. Even young guys, teenagers do this as well. And it got me wondering, what is going on? How do we nip this in the bud? How do we help these young teenagers to become emotionally strong, to be able to handle such, such a situation? If they find themselves in that situation, how can parents be of help to help these young teenagers who are not emotionally strong enough to bear this pain? In schools, when you go there, you see the kind of things happening. Teenagers almost ruining their lives. I had a discussion with someone last night, and it broke my heart also, because a young teenager has been molested, and she's finding it difficult to open up to her parents, because she doesn't know how to. She doesn't know how to open up to her parent that this is what she's dealing with. Nkechi Cynthia, thank you so much for coming, Queen. I appreciate you. Kindly click the like button for me, please, Queen. Welcome. She's finding it difficult to open up. And it's not just her. More and more teenagers are dealing with different things, either heartbreak, depression, biological changes, rejections, all that. Thank you for the thumbs up, Queen. And they don't know how to open up to their parents. They don't know how to open their mouth and say, Mom, I need your help. How do I maneuver this hurdle? How do I pass through this stage of life? Mom, did you have to deal with all this heartbreak? Mom, were you ever rejected? Mom, were you ever, have you ever gone through depression? Or have you been, served breakfast while you were young? They are finding it difficult to confine. Thank you so much being a carer with Case, my gorgeous queen. Welcome, ma'am. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And thanks for the thumbs up. Young teenagers are there battling with all these problems all by themselves, not knowing whether we like it or not. Things are changing, especially in this era of social media. With the kind of things people see, with the kind of things they read, with the kind of things they watch, it affects young teenagers. And they have friends they don't know, friends they've never met, but social media friends, online friends that they rather talk to, because the parents, either they are too afraid, they are too scared to open up to their parents or even ask certain questions. And we, the parents, are not left out. And this is why this is a video. Yeah, Queen, yeah, is a topic, a young teenager that deleted herself because her boyfriend, called off the relationship. The boyfriend broke her heart, and she had to end her life for it. It's saddening. Imagine how the mom will be feeling right now. Imagine how the parents will be feeling, all because they don't know how to help. They didn't know she was dealing with this. And it's not the first time such a thing is happening. And I'm calling on parents, using this opportunity to talk to parents. If you're a parent watching me, please, if you can share out this stream, share out, let's have more people coming here. We need parents to rub minds together. We just need to talk about this. More teenagers are becoming so emotionally immature. They are not strong because the parents, maybe, and the society doesn't prepare them for things like this. Like they think life is just that easy and simple. Life is all rosy. So whenever they encounter a little what do I call, bump on the road, they don't know how to deal with the situation. When they are faced with challenges, they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to deal with it. They don't even talk to their parents. Cornelio says, since no teen is immune to ideations of suicide, there are many factors that can make some adolescents more vulnerable. Please, if you can list out those factors as a parent, I don't mind, Cornelius. Thank you so much. You see, so parents need to be more alert and watchful. Why I'm making this video is to call on parents. This is like a wake-up call. Come on, parents, wake up and smell the coffee. Something is going wrong in the society. It's like a wave. Just last week, one wrote a suicidal note to her mom and passed away because, according to her, her mom has been, feeling sad that she had her, that she was the worst thing that ever happened to her, that since she got pregnant for her, she has lost her man, she has lost everything, life means nothing. And she felt, okay, on this your special birthday, I am giving you this birthday gift by leaving this world for you. Hope you can be happy now, mom. That was her last word, her letter to the mom. How do we help out? Parents, we need to understand that parenting style has changed. Let's wake up and smell the coffee. Parenting style have changed. It is no longer the same style back in the 80s or 70s or even 90s. It has changed completely. We need to sit up and watch carefully, like an eagle, watching over those children. Watch their love, watch their body language. Watch the kind of friends they keep, the kind of things they surf on the net. It's heartbreaking when I come across these things. It's not as if there were no suicides back in the 80s, but the rate is very low compared to what we have today. Back then, it's not as if we never passed through all this. We all passed through adolescent stage in life. We all had that biological changes. We all experienced, first love and all those experiences that comes with, growing up as a teenager, as an adolescent. We passed through that. And some of us, I wouldn't be proud to say this, but some of us, the way we were raised back then was more difficult than today parenting style. Back then, my mother was like, we are so scared of our mom. We call her Onyame. Why? Because my mom's style of parenting is, this typical African mom style. Spare the rod and spoil the child. She believes in the rod so much. A lot of parents are hustling and don't have time for their children. Some parents should not be parents at all. We need to be in their lives, or the society will take our place. Thank you, Queen. This is what I'm talking about. Parents need to wake up and establish a bond between them and their children, especially the teenagers, as they're growing up and experiencing all those changes. Whether we like it or not, we cannot deny the fact that they're still going to pass through what we pass through. No matter how much we try to protect them, no matter how much we try to watch over them, they will pass through all that. And if we're not careful, we may never be their friends that they can confide in. Parents need to find a way to bond and establish strong friendship with their teenagers, because at this stage, they are afraid or careful not to open up. It is that bond that you have established right from when they are young that will help you know when they're dealing with something, and that will help you help them as well. Because if they don't open up to you, how are you going to help them? Like I was saying, there's a record of a young lady who has been molested not once, but twice, yet her parents are not aware. She's living under their roof. They are not aware that this young lady is going through this all by herself. And according to her, her mom is so busy, she doesn't even care about her. She doesn't have her time. And this is the problem we're having. This is the issue we are having. Moms are too busy. Dads are too preoccupied. Nobody's looking closely. Look, parenting is not all about paying the bills. It's not all about fending for them. It's not all about buying them clothes and putting food on the table. It's not all about paying their school fees and taking them on trips. It is a bond, establishing a father and son bond, a mother and daughter bond that will help those children overcome some hurdles in life. Loving them and watching over them carefully. Welcome, Sister Winnie. Thank you so much. God bless you, Sister Winnie. Thank you for the thumbs up as well. We need to sit down with them and have sincere and honest conversation with them. No holds barred. Yes. Establish this. It is very important. Look, people at the society is dealing with a lot. Just yesterday, I was online and I saw a video of a man, an old man, not really that old, but he should be in his 50s, on 3rd Mainland Bridge. He stood there. While people were talking with him and conversing with him and trying to, talk him out of it, this guy jumped into the lagoon. Jumped into 3rd Mainland Bridge, into the bridge. Suicide. An old man, and people were screaming, no, don't. But before you see Jack, he left the rail and fell into the water. More and more people are taking their life. Things are becoming tougher. So imagine you don't know, as you are consumed and engrossed with what you're dealing with the bills, how to make money, how to pay the bills, your job, your business, your career. These teenagers are equally dealing with their own. So we cannot, as long as you want to be a parent, you have to play that role. You cannot neglect one. You cannot say you're dealing with a lot, so these children should just let you be. It is still your responsibility and your duty to do this for them. As you're battling with yours, you need to look at them and understand that you equally have a responsibility. It is your place to shield and to protect them. Mental health issues can make a teen incapable of coping with the stresses of teenage, such as rejection, failures, breakups, school difficulties, and family turmoil. Thank you so much, Cornelius. And this is true. Sometimes maybe a child is struggling academically. The parents don't even know that this child is struggling academically. How many parents can beat their chest today and say they go through their children's homework or they go through their school activities? Is it a father that has gone out and come back late into the night and all he wants to do is to sit down, eat his dinner and go to bed? Or is it a mother that is busy with her business, gets back home trying to prepare dinner for the family? You know, if she's a content creator, she will have to start thinking about the content of the day and all that. And then before you say Jack, she's done with the dinner, they eat and everybody goes to bed, not knowing that this young child is dealing with, is struggling academically. And you know that frustration can make a child give up. The frustration of not being able to sort out things. It could be it could be math, it could be English, it could be biology, it could be any subject. And they're struggling to make this, but we don't know. The school, you know, there are some schools that all they do is to flog. They keep flogging. We are not the same academically. We can't all excel at the same level. All the school does is to flog and give punishment. And the child comes back, the mother or the father is not even out there to listen or to hear them out or to even check them. Relax and enjoy. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Please give me a thumbs up. Relax and enjoy. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate your presence here. Nothing makes teenagers, children happier like when they know their parents have their back, regardless of it, if it's their fault or not. Thank you. Honestly. You know, they feel relaxed knowing that, okay, I can talk to mommy. I can talk to daddy. I can actually confide on my dad. You know, guys, especially teenage boys, are finding it very easy to confide in their dad. For those who have dads, you know, the dad figure in their life. It's easier because man to man, they can actually open up to some certain extent. While it's easier for female children to open up to their mom and discuss certain things. Mom, there's a boy toasting me in school. Mom, can I have a boyfriend? Mom, there's this boy I like in school and he doesn't like me. And you, the mother, should be prepared to help answer certain questions. That is why you are a mom. That is why you are the father. When a boy is experiencing that puberty, when he's in that puberty stage and he's experiencing some changes in his body, he doesn't understand why he'll wake up and then his manhood is hard. Or when he sees the lady, his joystick is standing and he can't control it. He doesn't have control. He doesn't know why he's feeling that way, why his heart is beating so much. But he can open up to a caring father, a father who is ready to listen to him. And this father will not be the one to explain these biological changes to them. And if he's struggling academically, the father will be able to, you know, find a way to help. If he needs extra teacher, fine. If not, he can even talk to the school to understand the problem or the dilemma of this young boy. It could also be girlfriend things. Look, we can't rule out those things. The world is changing. It has changed. He could be liking a lady. BMC, thank you so much for coming. I see you. I appreciate you. Please kindly give me a thumbs up, BMC. Welcome. It's been long I saw your live stream, BMC. Hope all is well. Just your videos. Welcome. Thank you so much. Give me a thumbs up, guys, if you haven't done so. Please kindly click the like button, guys. Please do that for me. Do me that favor, okay? It helps the live stream, okay? Some parents don't have all these information to pass to their children because, you know, some don't even know any better. Some don't know any better. What they know is what they learned from their own parents. Some of us, like I was giving an example, were raised by very disciplined fathers who don't spare the rod, fathers who will beat you like a military man, mothers who, when only the slap can reset the brain. We grew up that way. Some of us were traumatized, but of course we don't know. We didn't even know we were traumatized until years into our lives before we realized that some of these things have implications or somehow has affected us mentally. Back then, we can't open up like today. Now, some teenagers can actually confide in their mom and say, "Mom, I have a boyfriend. Mom, there's a boyfriend. There's a guy toasting me. I like him, but he's not liking me the way I like him. He's interested in Sheena. He's interested in this. He's interested in Faith." You know, back then we didn't have the guts. Who born us? Who born monkey banana to open mouth and tell our parents that we want a boyfriend or we have a boyfriend or we are feeling somehow? Then we beat that love away from our eyes and ask us if that is the reason why we went to school. But it is possible today. Why? Because the era has changed. It is no longer the same era. In this era, a young girl can actually talk to the mother, and the mother will give her the best counsel. Hey, baby girl, you don't need a boyfriend now. It's going to disturb your academic performance. You know, if he doesn't like you, leave him. There are a lot of guys who will like you. Or when you get to that stage, don't worry, you will find a good guy who is intelligent and smart to be able to, you know, handle a girlfriend like you. You know, that bond. Do parents still have this sit-down section with their children, especially with their teenagers, where you discuss heart to heart, where you tell them the realities of life and prepare them for the challenges ahead? Do parents still have the time? That's that pet time with their daughters, with their sons, to sit down and discuss, prepare them and tell them the realities, because life is it's not all bed of roses. There are some ups and downs you will encounter. You're going to face rejections. You're going to face problems here and there. Some people will like you, others may not like you. Everybody cannot like you. You can't please everyone. These are honest discussions with children, with teenagers especially, because they are growing into adulthood and they need to understand this. They need to be prepared mentally. They need to be prepared mentally to understand that these things are real. And when they come, they will be able to face it and overcome it. At every slightest provocation, young teenagers find the easy way out: suicide. How many more are we going to lose before we realize that things have changed and we need to wake up and smell the coffee? How many more children are going to go down? How many more? Cornelius says sometimes when a young person sees that they are unable to overcome their setback, then suicide may seem like a solution to their problems. Thank you. Some of them don't understand what it means. They just feel it's the easy way out. Know why? Because the internet is there. The internet is there where people put out all sorts of things. They see others do this. They read. They watch videos. They watch videos, they read all these things, and then they feel, okay, if you are in pain, you know, if I'm going through this, the best way is to just end it. What relationship? Look, if only they understood, if only they were told, if only they were taught, if only there was somebody there, they will not think about suicide. My gorgeous case says, I told when she's old enough, when she's old enough, we will dissect together any man that comes her way. This is what we do now that she's a woman. I always tell her, if you love and respect yourself, no guy can mess up about it. Thank you. No guy can mess up about it. This is frank talk a mother can give to her daughter. We cannot continue to imagine or expect that the way we grew up will be the same way our children are going to grow up. Era have changed. Trending gist with Octavia Cora. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Queen. Thank you. Please give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much. I tell her I'm your mom and I have your back. And tell the guy that I have an AK if they misbehave. You see, you know, when a child knows that my mother is a mother hen, she will cover me, she will protect me, she's ready to take the bullet for me, she's ready to shield me from danger, she's ready to shield me from the world, she's ready to do anything to see about my safety. That child will have confidence and great self-esteem. That child will not be afraid of heartbreak. What is boyfriend? Boyfriends that before she gets to 25, she must have had like 4 or 5. That is the truth. Pretty Happy, thank you so much. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining this stream. Pretty Happy, I don't know if you've given me a thumbs up, please kindly do so, okay? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Cornelius, you're laughing. Yeah, but that is the truth. When a child knows that her parents or their, when children know that their parents got their back, they will not be afraid of anything. They will not be afraid to open up. Now, there's a woman that equally said that she was having this discussion with her. Okay, thank you, Pretty Happy. Okay, thank you, I appreciate you. So she was having this conversation with her teenager. And when it came to the issue of molestation, and she told the daughter, look, whatever happens, I need you to open up to me. Are you going to tell me if you're going through any difficulties? Are you going to open up to me? Are you going to share with me? And the daughter said, God forbid, if before anything happened, that guy has to delete me first. The mother froze. Why? She said, she panicked like, God, how do we handle the situation? She's still afraid because this girl said before anything like that will happen, that person should be ready. You know, we need to have this talk and prepare them. Now, there's a video I will play for you guys to listen to see this, what this young teenager did, you know, all because of relationship. Like I said, relationship that some of us, while we were growing up, you know, this without intimacy, you know, you have a guy toast you and then the guy breaks up, you jump into the next one and all that. Now, listen to this. I'm not going to show you the video, but for... See what I don't drop for your body finish now. It wasn't break up with her. Break up. She just hang yourself die. Blessing, why you go do like this now? Blessing. You know, this is the girl. I don't want to show you guys the video. It's sad, really. The video will break your heart. That video will break your heart if you watch it. Blessing is the young girl's name. Boyfriend, how old is she? If only she knew, if only the parent prepared her for this challenge, had this pep talk with her, and be able to tell her, like, guys will come and go. They will come and go, but you have to stay strong because you mean so much. So long as you are good and you prepare yourself, you are smart, good guys will come. They will always fall over themselves to have you. Yes, so Cornelius, I bet I make career for 10 months. I know fish out. You see, because as a mother, you can't go through all this. You can't go through all this pain of motherhood and not wake up or sit up to your responsibility. I know we are busy. Look, I am not here to deny the fact that we're busy. I know we have a lot to do. With all that is happening today in the society, all over the world, mothers struggling to meet up and help out with the bills. Fathers struggling. Some of them can't hold down a job. Or is it a father that has lost his job and thinking about how to pay the next house rent? That will have time for the teenage daughter or for the teenage son. We know that those challenges are there, but as parents, we need to still understand that. We still need to understand that these children are our responsibility. These children are there for us to care and cater for. They didn't beg to come into this world. We decided to have them. We decided to bring them into this world. I'm going to be dropping the link. Whoever wants to come up with me and discuss, please, I don't mind mothers, parents to jump on this link, okay? Let's discuss. We need parental ideas and teach and how to go about it. Some parents are shy. They don't even know how to even discuss sex education with their children. They don't know how to discuss these things. Some parents are still very how do I put, conservative when it comes to issues like this. They don't know how to start from. They themselves can't talk about sex, talk more of discussing it with their children. There are teenagers, like some of us, while growing up, we never had that opportunity. I'm always using myself as an example. We never had this discussion with our parents. I never did with my mother. That's the truth. And I don't blame her. She didn't know any better. Some of our parents didn't go to school. They are not exposed. So they don't even know. Some of them don't know. So the way they are brought up is the same way they are bringing up their children. So how do you talk to a child you don't even have that relationship with? How do you even ask her about the personal things she's dealing with? You think just putting food on their table is enough, or paying their school fees? There is more. The same way we felt, those challenges we faced. The difference is that mentally we are more prepared. Maybe because of the iron hands used on us back then. And we're not advocating for that these days, because that iron hand doesn't work in this era. That iron fist used back then during our time cannot work for children of this era. children of this generation, children born in the 90s and 2000, you cannot use the same hand you used for a for a 80s child. You cannot use the same hand for a child born in the 2000s or 90s. You can't. It has changed. We must wake up and deal with it and find ways around it. Parents with teenage children, how do you do it? How do you create that bond with your daughters, with your sons? Do you call them and just talk, or you wait for them to come around? Do you observe their body language? Some teenagers isolate themselves when they're dealing with issues. They stay away, they don't talk, they avoid eye contact with their parents. Maybe because they've been molested, abused, or something must have gone wrong. And they feel you're going to see it when they look. And truly, a parent looking into your children's eyes, you can actually sense danger. You can sense something is wrong. You can sense something is wrong with this child. Don't just wake them up, take your bath, go to school, they come back, have your lunch, go do this chore, go do this chore, and then they know they are dealing with something. Like this teenager said, her mother didn't know she has been abused before, right from before she even became a teenager. And then it happened again. Still living under the parents' roof. They don't know. She's living with them, yet they didn't understand what she's dealing with. One day, tell me why this teenager will not wake up and delete herself when she's tired and fed up of carrying the burden alone. In her world, my parents don't care. They don't know. They don't care. I remember what my father told me, because I used to be a daddy's girl. He said to me, guys think they are clever, so I had to be more clever to beat them at their games. That's the ideology that helped me. That's an amazing father. That's an awesome father. And that is the bond we're clamoring for today. Let's not get so engrossed and consumed with what is happening with our personal lives and dealings, and forgetting that these children have their lives too. They have things they're dealing with. And that era have changed. It is no longer the same. There was no social media in our time. Pretty Happy said this topic is very important. We really need to do better as mothers. Thank you, Pretty Happy. Back in the days, there was nothing like social media. We were not distracted with social media. We don't have friends we don't know. All our parents know, all our friends. In fact, my mom will say, if I see you with any crazy friend, bring home those friends. I want to know your friends. So sometimes we say, my mother wants to see you, because we don't even understand why. And then we'll come home with our friends. My mom will give them food, we eat, and they give them soft drink, and then they go home. But she's looking. Sometimes when they've gone, she will say, that's that friend, that Anya Dinenu, she will tell you that friend, her eyes is up. Be careful. Stay away from such friend. Or if it's a guy, my mom will tell my brothers, that one, his eyes is up. He will steal one day. He's going to be a thief. The way he's looking, the way he's behaving. And then we were more only concerned about our academic performance and, of course, our parents' business. For those whose parents are running business, that is all we know. Our parents' business and our academic performance. And then when the boys start coming, oh, goodness. You don't have that boldness to stand and talk to a boy when our parents are coming. But today is different. TikTok is one messy place. Go to TikTok today and see what is happening. You see the kind of content that is being dished out, pushed out there. You as a mother, you will cringe. You see the kind of activities, the kind of things teenagers post, the kind of things they do, the kind of things they say, the kind of things clique of friends do. You, the parents, you will cringe in fear. That is why we need to wake up and be a step ahead. Teenagers are engrossed. Parents are engrossed. And that is why a teenager will be living under the parents' roof and be molested twice, 3 times a year. The parent is not even aware. A mother will look into her daughter's eyes and know that something is wrong. A mother will tell the daughter, come and sit down here. Come and sit down here. Something is wrong. What did you do? Know that the daughter has done something. Maybe she's been touched. But a very sensitive mother can decode that. She will feel it. She will know it. Looking at the daughter's eyes, she can sense something went wrong and begin to pry further. But how can mothers know that something is wrong with their teenagers when they are too busy? Is it we, the today's mothers that are all over social media? We have, some of us have multiple streams of income. Like they preach today, have multiple streams of income, have up to 20 streams of income, have up to 50 streams of income. Do this, go on Instagram, make sure you're very strong on Instagram, make sure your Instagram is verified, your Facebook is verified, your YouTube, your TikTok, everything. And then you are all over the place. And then you equally have your business or work to deal with. Then talk about the family front. Talk about the family as well. Not just that. You have a husband to also deal with. A husband who equally needs your attention. You have a family too. Because that you're married doesn't isolate you from your family. So we deal with a lot as parents. But then how do we balance it in order to have that cordial relationship? So our children will not pay the price. So the society will not steal them away from us, will not steal their childhood away from us, will not steal their innocence away from us. They're not born you where the slap you receive and you see all the stars, including the Milky Ways. Oh my God. But that is true. That's a mother speaking. That's a mother speaking. That's why Igbo proverb says that meaning when an animal runs fast, the hunter has to use faster weapons to track it down. Thank you. That's why I say we have to be a step ahead. We need to stand firm. Because one, considering the fact that they never begged us to bring them into this world, we decided, oh, I want to get married and I want to have such a number of children. And then you planned everything out. And then when those children come, you say you are overwhelmed. No, parents, don't be overwhelmed. Only one person. How will that person have time to care for the family? Thank you. Pretty happy. How would that person have time? I'm telling you, this is what motivational speakers tell us. Have multiple streams of income. Do this. You have Facebook. And then some of us have, there are some content creators that have up to 4, 5 channels. Okay. And they will have to create content for those channels, isn't it? They will create content for those channels. Some of these channels, some people have 3, 4, 5 monetized channels, and then you talk about the Facebook, you talk about the Instagram, you talk about the TikTok, you talk about the LinkedIn. You know, you talk about so many, and then you look at the job, you look at your business. All they tell you side hustles, and then the family is suffering. The children are left to care for themselves all by themselves. How would you, that pep time with children, we need to wake up and start it. If you have not, as a mother, listen to the sound of my voice, please, I beg you. I know you are overwhelmed, but please don't give up. Wake up, you know, stand up. It is your responsibility. It is your duty. If you have to give up some of these things to watch these children grow and be, you know, mentally strong, then please do so. These streams of income will always be there. Facebook will always be there. Instagram will always be there. YouTube will always be there. That business will always be there. Those things will always be there. Or we limit the attention we give to some of these things, so we can have time for these children. They need us. We cannot run away from it. This is fact. We cannot run away from the reality. Cornelius says, things have changed, but we need to continue our older ways that have proven to work. Yes, these older ways, Cornelius, have proven to work, but with this era, with this generation, trust me, it doesn't seem to be very active anymore. It's no longer working. It's no longer working. There are, these children that today you shout at them, back then you shout. A child will get frightened and stop whatever he or she is doing. But today you shout. What do? They tell you that you are abusing them emotionally. They tell you that no, the society will tell you that you don't even shout on your child. You can't even spank your child. We know. You can't spank because today is seen as abuse when you touch your own child. You can't scold a child now. It's against the law in most countries, most developed countries. You cannot, it's against the law. So what do? The only way out is to band. Start early. A stitch in time saves 9. Igbo say, "Aneji otutu chuwowo ewoji." When you start early enough, you'll be able to catch them. You'll be able to establish that friendship, that bond between you and them. That way, you will not be afraid. You know that this child can trust me. This child can trust me enough to confide in me. This child can trust me enough to open up with whatever he or she is dealing with. You have nothing to worry about. But if you've not established that bond, you can't start when they are teenagers. That's the truth. You cannot start. Or that time is already too late. It is already too late. You cannot start trying to be friends with your teenage child when they're already at that stage. No, it's too late. Start from when they are babies. Start with having this mommy and daughter talk time. Some people call it tea time, mom and daughter tea time. Even boys do that when they're still very young. Daddy and boy time. You go out to play, play football. In the course of playing, you talk. Children are very innocent. Trust me, if you are very wise as a parent, they will open up to you when they see that you are not always threatening. Threatening children doesn't work. Some children, if you threaten them, you push them into their shell and they get themselves locked up in there. It's going to take the grace of God to get them to come out from that shell. They will build a wall around themselves. You can no longer penetrate to ask them anything. Why? Because all you do is threaten and shout. You can shout from now till tomorrow. You can shout from now till tomorrow. A child who is not afraid, who is not ready to open up, will not open up. The only thing that will make that child open up to you is that love, communication, effective communication. Talking to them, having that heart-to-heart talk, and making them feel safe. Tell them, look, whatever you tell me is safe with me. I am your mom. I am your dad. I can protect you from the whole world. You can trust me. You can open up to me. I won't scold you. I won't chastise you. I'll listen to you. When a child knows that you have that listening ear, and you're ready to give a shoulder to them, you're ready to pat them on the back when things are going wrong. Look, always assure your children that it is okay to make mistakes. So long as we are human beings, let them know that you have equally made your mistake, that you're not a saint either. That way, they will not be afraid to tell you when they are falling, when they are making mistakes, when they are afraid. But when you present yourself as a saint, as a perfect parent, they will be afraid, because when they make mistake, they see, oh, my dad is too perfect. My dad is a saint. My dad can't do this. So how do I tell my dad that I messed up, that I goofed? How? Thank you so much. Sometimes you do all this, and yes, some of them still goes out to turn to the opposite of what a parent wants. I know, but we have to still do our best. Chumsy Concepts, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it, Chumsy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please give me a thumbs up. She says, make them your friend and they will open up to you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And this is what I am preaching here. Making your children your friend. Or make them trust you. Because when they trust you, they can tell you. A child who is being molested. Now there's a teenager that one of the teachers used to abuse in school. Not once, not twice. And the teacher will always threaten her that if you talk, if you say anything, you are going to fail. This child is always afraid of that threat of failing. So the child takes it on until something happened. That was when the parents realized that this girl has been dealing with a lot. What happened? This girl took in. She got pregnant. And that was when the parents knew. And she opened up when the deed has been done, that it's one of her teachers. Now, when this has been happening, she didn't have the courage because she was afraid of her parents. Why this teacher kept on abusing and molesting her in school before she was able to open up. It was too late. The deed has been done. We need to establish that friendship, that bond. It is the only way in this era. You see, gone are those days. Mommy, Fechi, welcome. Thank you so much, Mommy. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Yeah, thank you so much. Please give me a thumbs up, Mommy. Welcome. Thank you so much. I'm happy you're here. You know, I want parents to give, to give their opinion on how to go about this. A lot of parents don't know how to go about this, creating and establishing this bond between them and their children. They don't know how to, and things keep going wrong. Or is it even in our places of worship? These things happen, but with the threat, these children are afraid. But if you give them, if you, the parent, can give them the assurance that, look, don't be afraid. You can tell me anything. And I'm not going to punish you. Open up to me. I am your friend. I am your dad. I am your mom. I'll be here to listen to you and guide you. This is why we are parents, to guide and order their steps. It is our mandate and our responsibility here on earth. We asked for this gift, even if you didn't ask for it and it came to you. So long as the gift came to you as a parent, it is your duty and your responsibility to wake up and do the needful. Stop using the yardstick of the old to raise children of this era. Emotionally, they are not as strong as we are. Some of us, if some of these children are raised the same way, they'll be traumatized for life. That's the truth. The way some of our parents raised us, if we try it with these children of this generation, they'll be scarred for life. They are not emotionally strong. And I don't, do you blame them? No. This is why we have to do our part to prepare them to be emotionally strong, to face some of these challenges. Rejection. I mean, how many, we have all faced rejections. But when a child understands that rejection is part of life, you can't always get a yes, yes, yes every hour. A yes, yes, yes from everyone. They will know. So when they get a no, they know. There are some children I see, just a no makes them throw tantrum. A child goes to a candy store or a supermarket and then picks something and the parent says no. Oh, all hell be let loose. That child will break stuff. I have seen videos of that. That child will throw tantrum, to use curse word, break things up, and the parent will be helpless, watching, not knowing what to do or how to control that child. It starts from when they are very young. When they are one, when they can understand, even before one, when they can understand you as a parent, when you can communicate with them, you can tell them things. Use that time so that when that child is touching something that will break or that will harm him or her, you say no, the child will understand. And when you say no, enforce the no. Don't just say no, because children want to test you. They want to test your patience. They want to test your resolution. They want to say, when you say no, they want to attempt that thing again and see, does she really mean the no or just plain? Okay, let me do this again and see. And then the child will try it again. But if you throw away your eyes and say, I don't tell this speaking, no, you know, they hear, make I leave her. That child will not know, okay, you are not serious as a parent, and will do it again. So the next time the child does this, you say no, the child will just laugh. No, what? Hell no, and then smash that thing. That's why earlier we start, the better. Is the having not Not okay. Is the heaven not the same as now? Is the heaven okay? Is the heaven not now? Is the heaven not the same as now? So why are they so different? Parents need to be strict with their children. Cornelius, yes, parents need to be strict, but not with the rod. No longer with the rod. This time around, it is with love and dialogue, having that conversation and establishing that bond. Back then, a parent can use stick and hit a child. The child will not turn around to, the child will not even cry. Even when they're going to cry, they will still clean their eyes. But today, you cannot try that with the child. No. While growing up, there's a woman, one of my neighbors, that actually used a slippers, one had slippers to hit her son. She broke the son's hand. She hit the boy was very slim. She used it and broke his hand. He's a grown man now. I remember back then, people were screaming. Why? Because she was talking to the boy, he continued doing what he was doing and then messed things up. And then in the course of hitting him, she broke his hand. Try it today. That parent will be locked up. We saw the trending videos today of a father who knows the frustration the man is going through. The father must be dealing with his own frustration and then wanted to sleep. An innocent baby, a 2-month-old baby, was crying. That child needed attention. Maybe breast milk. Maybe the child couldn't sleep. Maybe the weather was too hot for the child, or the child is just restless, or the child has food on himself. Children cry is their way of communication. So the only way a child can communicate is through crying. If they are uncomfortable, if they are having any discomfort, they talk, they cry. That is the only way and you begin to. Maybe the child is is under the weather, or is having cold or rashes. Anything can make a child cry, and the man wants to have his peaceful sleep. Unfortunately, the cry of the baby got to him, and the man lost it, picked up a hanger and started hitting this innocent baby with a hanger and broke the baby's arm. Broke the child, innocent baby, 2-month-old baby. That is why I said the people are dealing with a lot. A lot are depressed. We don't know it. Broke this 2-month-old baby and then locked the mother and the child up so that nobody would know. Unfortunately, the baby's hand started decaying. When it was found that the mother later found a way to go through to her neighbor, and they were able to take this child to the hospital. It was too late. The hand has already started rotting. They had to amputate this newborn baby's hand. 2 months old, right hand. This child is going to grow up to just use just one hand. All because the man may be dealing with depression or is feeling so frustrated. Like I said before, there was a man I was watching just yesterday, jumped over the third mainland bridge. Why? Because he's dealing with depression. That is why I keep saying the only way to overcome this is for us to use love. Love and proper communication. Proper communication is the only way out. We have to be kind with our words. We have to be empathic. We need to try to understand put ourselves in other people's shoes to be able to understand what they're dealing with. As a mother, put yourself in your teenage daughter's shoes. If she's not doing well academically, she may be feeling frustrated. And you know what frustration does? It may make her lose it. So from time to time, check up. Have this weekend talk. If you don't have time weekdays, try and have a weekend time. This is family. This is family. This is reality. Don't be carried away Monday to Sunday. You don't have time to discuss, to bond, to discuss with your children. Don't go Monday to Sunday without allocated time for them. If you're too busy weekdays, please create that weekend, Saturday and Sunday. If you're the parent that works even weekend, then ensure that even that weekdays, you create time as well. Don't give the devil a chance to ruin your innocent babies. Don't let them go through this world all by themselves without your guidance. Without your guidance, don't let them. Growing up, when my mother tells you to behave and you don't, then the eyes comes. When my mother gives you the eyes, you know that the conversation will continue with some strokes when you get home. Thank you so much. I remember, you did. Thank you. Still on? Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Welcome. Give me a thumbs up. Good morning, Wanyoma. Okay, give me a thumbs up. UC and UD. Give me a thumbs up. Now, Kes, back in those days, a mother will give a child that eye, you know. When a mother gives these eyes, you already knows. You know, these eyes have different languages. When she does this thing, that means don't. But can you do this to these children? You do this. The next thing you ask you, mommy, what's in your eyes? Mommy, what's happening with your eyes? Why are you blinking your eyes? Or you does this. That child knows that I'm in soup when we get home. Or you do. That child knows that I am finished. My mommy will finish me today when we get home. Mommy, Fechi. Mommy, welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have Mommy Fechi in the house here. Welcome, Mommy. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome, Ma.
Yeah, very welcome. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yes, I just thought I'm very busy in the background because my sister just arrived, but I said I have one or two things to chip in on this particular discussion. So I thought I'll jump in quickly to say something. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
This topic is very interesting because I've personally known a number of teenagers, not buying themselves, but getting into deep depression because of one thing or the other to do with a boyfriend, this friend, and another kind of relationship, and where the parents did not handle it well, and it actually caused the teenager a lot of problem. You know, this series I've been doing on family. I was saying that I'm going to come to talk about teenage children because I've gone through that stage with my sons. Now they are adult children. We're going to discuss adult children as well because they have their own baggages as well. But
I saw your video today on the I saw you. I watched the video today. I missed the premiere, but I later watched it.
Oh, thank you very much. You know, I said the premiere. I thought I set it at 4:30. And then I was coming at 4:30 to start, you know, how I do respond to people. And I saw that it says a top chat replay. I'm like, and I saw that there's about 30 people already in the comments, and the people have all watched it, even though I wasn't there. That's what you call support. I was so overwhelmed. I completely mixed up the time, but people were still there, even though I was not responding to them. I wasn't there at the premiere because I missed the time, and people were still there. When I saw those comments, it really touched me. I was blessing all of you. You didn't hear me, but I honestly, I was blessing all of you. And I said, this is what you call family.
That is, you are our mom.
Yes.
You are our mom, and we learn a lot from you. So even if you are not there, we're going to be there to learn, you know.
Oh, honestly.
Anish Daily. Welcome, Anish. He says, Spice Sweetie, I like you so much, and I'm trying to watch your live. Thank you so much, Anish. I appreciate you. Please give me a thumbs up, okay? Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, so I was overwhelmed. But going back to what we are discussing tonight, let me go back to my own time when, you know, just what you are saying. I think when I grew up, it was the same as our parents. All they know is that when I started seeing my menstruation, my mom was like, now it means that you're a woman. And if you go near anyone, you become pregnant. And I literally took that as the truth. That was my own family planning from my mom. And I took that as the truth. And that made me to be very distant from boys or men because I thought, that thing she said stuck in my memory. Now that I'm a woman, that I can't do near anymore. If they talk to me, even if they talk to you, you become pregnant. I'm like, hi.
Mm. We
After
were
I said to
raised that way.
myself,
My mother would tell, if Motemi to
mm,
Daka, Itulime,
eh,
you know,
yes,
they didn't know any better. They didn't know how to
yes,
tell us because there
yes,
was nothing like sex education, unlike today, where
mm,
a mother can tell a child, this is your this thing, where you pee
yes,
from, this is the name, this is Zara, this is the, you know, they don't know
yeah,
how to because they were shy on even
yes.
saying it with their own mouth.
Mm,
Hmm?
exactly. And then it trickled down to me having my own children. And mind you, I had all sons and there was no daughter. And it can be very awkward for a mom, but it wasn't for me because I actually learned from my the mistake my mom made. But it was still a bit difficult for me because having had my children in the 80s and 90s, I still have that mentality of, oh, you don't talk to them. If you start talking to them about these things at early age, that will put ideas in their head to start thinking of doing such and such. Oh, leave it until they get to certain age. Oh, leave it until they get to certain age. So I
Because
to
they
some
were born
extent,
in the 80s and 90s.
yes.
They were born in the 80s and 90s.
Yes, yes. So I still had that kind of mentality that you don't talk about this. How can you be telling so it affected me to some extent. But then as they go older, if I was even the one, instead of their dad being the one that would be openly talking to them about this, and I will be talking to them, I say, and I'll be doing it in a joking way, and I'll pass my information to them. And they got it. They got it because in a joking way, I'll ask them certain questions, and I'll say to them, "Oh, what happened today, and what is that girl I saw you talking to today? Me, mom, girl, which one?" I just trying to pull their legs and stuff like that, and yeah, and in a way got in the information and the message I wanted to send to them. And hopefully, by God's grace, I think it's helped. They're all adults now, independent, and all they need from me now is, oh, mom, I want to do this and this. What do you think? Or just to give us and me and dad information about what they want to do, not even what do you think anymore, because we felt that at the time we needed to instill that information and that discipline in them. We did as much as we can, but nothing can any parent do to think that, oh, I've done it all. Oh, my children are perfect. Don't you see them? No, 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 no. Because no matter how much you try, sometimes these children can still go the other way. So the important thing is, as somebody was saying in the comment, make them your friends. Don't make them to be afraid of you. Let them be near you. Even like my sons, I said to them, look, you people just use me as a test case for girlfriends and for women, knowing women. There's no other person in this house. It's just me. So just use me, the way you treat me, the way you behave to me, the way you see me get moody sometimes, or I'm not happy sometimes, and the way if you ignore me and don't say, Mom, why is your face like that? That will show me how you're going to treat your wives or future girlfriends and stuff like that. So I ask them to use me. They don't have any sister. And I think it helped them a lot as well. And at a point, Hobby will feel a bit jealous because it's like, you and your sons, we are very open and we joke. And if anything happens to me, or if I knock myself, I'm like, oh my God, you see them running, Mom, are you okay? If it's that said that, they'll just ignore that and be going. To them, it's like, it's a man. It's a
That
man.
is strong. He can handle anything.
Yes, let him look after himself. So at a point, it's like, you all just upset about your mom. If your mom now, you would have all be around her. So I really taught them that they need to be respectful to women. They need to do this. This is what they have to do and stuff like that. So it was easy for me. Maybe if I have had a daughter, I don't know whether it would have been that easy, because I know that I have some friends with daughters who resent their mother's advice, maybe because of the approach. One of them in
The
particular, I said
approach.
to the mom, she kept us telling me, "Oh, my daughter will never do this." And that, that daughter listens to me. That daughter, and she will always report to me, say, "Oh, she calls her my daughter. So see your daughter, because you are the only one that she will listen to." It's not that I'm the only one she will listen to. It's just the way your approach. It's not what you say, but how you say it. Because the children, I've always said it, even when they're quite young, in the video, I don't know whether it's the one I did today or the one I will upload on Thursday. Yes, on Thursday, the one on Thursday, I was talking about teaching these children pleasantries, please, thank you, this and that. When they are, the way you talk to them, you don't say, oh, because they are my children. After all, and they're only 5 years old. Why would I even say please or thank you when they give me something? We are not saying that because they are 5 years old. They're saying please and thank you when they do something, because you want them to be repeating that. You want them to be behaving
Yes.
like that. So how you want them to
Yes.
behave, come down to their level and behave that way. When somebody hears you saying, oh, thank you very much, and you're talking to your 5-year-old is even old, your 2-year-old, they hand something to you, oh, thank you, sweetheart, thank you, my dear, and you give, oh, can you get that thing for me, please? And you're talking to a 2-year-old, 3-year-old. It doesn't mean that oh, that's my baby. Why would I be saying please and thank you? No, you should, because at any age of our lives, of our children, even babies, they demand some respect from you as parents. And when you do that to them, you are actually teaching them by example. It's no longer what you say, it's what you do, because they now
What you
observe you.
do.
Yeah, this is what my mom, oh, mom does that. And when they go out there, for example, the language you use at home. I remember when my son, I always want to use my sons as example. They're not angels. I've always told you people that one of my sons gave us pepper, that at a point I just felt like flushing him down the toilet. But later on, he turned 110 degrees and became who
Mm.
he is today. Why? Because we persevered, myself, and we stuck together. What I've noticed when children are so, especially in their teenage years, or even when they are much younger, it starts from younger age, because they have to be young children before they become teenagers. So we have to start as early as possible and say the same thing. Husband and wife, please say the same thing. Whether
Mm.
because the children, they can play one against the other. They know the one that will always say yes and the one that will always say no, and they go to that one
Mm.
that will always say yes first. So when you now say yes, they won't even bother going to the one that will say no. And later on, you find out that they're doing that, and you're like, why are you doing this? Oh, well, I asked mom, and she said yes. But mom knew that they had not discussed with dad, and that dad would have had a
Mm.
different opinion. Why can't parents be saying the same thing? It helps a lot in bringing up these children. And when it gets to a certain age, they will know their boundaries. They will know that mom and dad are saying the same thing. I've
Mm.
said it before. When mine were growing up, when they ask dad something, they'll say, what did your mom say? And they'll come to him and say, but dad, you are the head of the home. That's what the Bible said. Then you know that they know their Bible. They will now start quoting
Yeah.
Bible, what the Bible God says. And dad will say, yes, but we have the same Bible also said that we as parents will have to work together to be able to give you the best. So they knew this from the start. Parents, let us not be too busy for our children. I know sometimes it can be overwhelming. That's why I always say, please, let's have the number we can manage. We had 4. It wasn't easy, but it was our choice to have the 4, even though one of them was not a plan. But as far as I'm concerned, it's our choice to have them, and we have to be there
Yes.
and do and be patient and take whatever they bring to us, because it's not their
Yeah.
fault. So I think with that kind of teenagers doing these things to themselves, or even getting so depressed or having some mental health issues, it boils down to parenting. It boils down to poor parenting. When parents are not doing, or they don't start early. I know my colleagues in the nursing profession in this country, UK, it's all about money. They are going from one shift to the other. The children are left
Mm.
on their own. They are left on their own with the television. You don't know when they went to bed. They might be watching tele till 2 a.m. Children that are supposed to be in school the next day. Sometimes they are left there and they even go on night duty. I know examples like that. There are so many things going on among our children because we think. And when you ask them, they don't feel any remorse. They say, well, I'm
Mm.
doing it for them. If I stay there, how are we going to
How
feed?
can you be
Uh,
doing it for them when you don't
Exactly.
even spend that time? Do you know that
You don't
children?
spend,
Olufunke,
yes,
welcome. Thank you so much for Olufunke.
you
You say you
know,
have a lot to say on this. Please jump on the link, okay? Do you know
yeah,
that most children prefer the attention, the presence of their
of
parents than
course.
those gifts and those money, those things you want to give to them? They
Of
will give up
course.
anything just to have the presence of
They
their
prefer,
parents.
they would rather have minimal, the barest minimal, and have you around than you buying them the most expensive Nike shoes and stuff like that, and they never
Mhm.
see you. No, no, no. They prefer you to be there. They need your presence and not your present. Parents need
Mm-mm.
to get this right. So not so making this oh, I'm doing it for them. No, you're not doing it for them. You are doing it for yourself. You're doing it for you to be able to pay for the next be coming up. You're doing it for you to be able to compete with other ladies out there. You're not doing it for them. So
Mm-mm.
parents we need to do better, because this is the reason you come to here in UK in the young offenders unit. There's a lot of our children there. Why? Because of this kind of problem where parents are absent.
Are
Delivering a baby
absent.
is not just the end of raising up children. It's actually delivering them. We may say that labor and delivery is very hard, but I tell you, that's even as much as it's hard and painful, that's the easiest part of raising children is labor and
Mm.
delivery. The main
Yeah.
job comes as soon as you deliver them and start nurturing them and start raising them up. They get into that 1 to 5 years, and they get into that early teens, and they get into that early 20s, and then full adult and stuff like that. That's where the hard work is in raising up children. Yes, carrying the
Yeah.
people think, oh,
Then,
when I
as
was
a parent,
pregnant.
you can now relax and rest, knowing that you have laid
Yes,
that foundation,
because
you have
that's
done
the
your
thing.
best.
Yes, I also say to children, sorry, parents who are raising up younger children, from my own example, I say this to them. This is now when the hard
Zoe,
work.
so
This is
sorry, mommy. Zoe, come up again. Always turn on your camera when you enter the studio, then you put it up. Otherwise, it will not let you come up. Okay, try again. Mommy, go on. Sorry, Zoe, try
yes.
coming up.
So parents should please learn to do all the hard work when their children are younger, because if not, you are going to spend your older age in agony. You are
Mm.
not going to be happy parent, or as they grow older. But if you do all those hard work when they're younger, when they go out there and hear some people speak certain language, they will come back and say to you, "Oh, mom, look at what my friends said today in school. That was horrible, wasn't it?" I remember my children, they'll come back and they'll be mortified. Some of the things they hear, and they'll come back and they'll say, "Look at what my friend Luke said today in school, mom. And this is what you have been telling us." You see? So they know that when they go out there, those things are like, "Oh my God, you shouldn't be saying that. What kind of mom or dad have you got? Have they not told you?"
Mm-hmm.
Like my own parents told me that this is not right. So even children that you have taught well can actually help other children, because when they talk
Yeah.
like that, they can also say to them, "Oh, you don't talk like that," and they will
Because
actually
some
look
other
at you.
children, those children don't
They
they don't
don't
get these things from their parents, so they will be the
know.
one to say, "I know this is what my mom said, this is what my dad said."
Exactly.
They can help another
Exactly.
child overcome that challenge, you know
Yes. Some children
because
can
of your
actually
own
help
training.
other children. Yes. That's why we have to work hard on our children, because they can actually help other children out there, because their own parents did not help them. You see parents using this F language like no man's business, and you see children as
Mhm.
young as 5 using it because that's what they've heard at home. And to them, it's nothing. It's just the normal language at home. So, yeah, parents, we need to do better. If not, we are going to spend our older age. Look at me now, just me and my husband, assuming we have one child inside. We'll be visiting, booking visits. Sometimes they tell you can only see them once a week, well, sometimes once a month. This is what all you get. And that's why you'll be going backwards and forwards. I don't want to use the proper name. You'll be going inside
Yeah.
to see your adult child or your teenage
Oh
child.
yes.
But they're just there
Look
whiling away. Why?
at the
Because you have
teenage
not done.
facility. Look at a lot of children in Western world. A lot of teenagers
Yes.
are locked up in these facilities
Yes.
because they don't know any better. See, whether we like it or not, mommy, the truth is that it is still our responsibility, our duty to do our best. Because what hurts me the most is parents making excuses that they have done their best. They are
No.
busy, they have their life
We
to
can
live, they have business, they have work and all that. Then why
we
have the
can
children?
never
Then let
do.
social welfare take over these children and raise them
Mm,
if you can't.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. We can never do enough. I'm sorry, parents. We can never do enough for our children. honestly, because it's just work in progress at any
Yeah.
stage. Don't even think people like yourself, people who have a young family like Zoe, you have your baby is there. The other one turned, is it two? The other day, I was like,
Zoe is here with us.
yes, I
Zoe.
know. Yeah. So
Yes.
when they're at
Good
that
evening,
age,
mommy.
please enjoy them and do work that hard. When you work hard now, trust me, when they get to certain age, you will be laughing. They will call you on the
Yeah.
phone. You ask them how are things. You all laugh. Oh, mom, dad, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, do you want to do this? It makes you so happy. It helps in your older age. But if you have not done
Hmm.
that hard work when they are younger, at older age, you will be in agony. Ị na-asụ ude
Hmm.
oge ọbụla, oh, these children, what have
Hmm.
I done? Oh, this one, what have I
You
done
just
to you?
you regret. Old age will be
Yes,
filled with regret. There are a lot of parents at this old age when they should be enjoying. All they are doing
yes,
is cost, cost,
yes,
cost, cost,
exactly.
because the child is
So,
bringing them pain on
yes,
daily basis,
yeah,
bringing them shame and embarrassment on daily basis. Yeah.
yeah.
Zoe,
So,
welcome.
yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, mommy.
Good evening, my dear.
One of your
Yes, ma.
second daughter is here. You know,
Mm.
I'm the first daughter.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, I know.
definitely. You see how dark she is, just like my proper daughter color. You are my
Yes.
fairer
Yes,
daughter.
She can
She's my
actually
darker
pass for
daughter.
your daughter because of her
Yes, I
yes.
complexion.
know.
Actually, kind of look alike, oh, sincerely.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Yes.
Yeah. The moment I saw this title, I was like, I have to come up because
Mm,
I myself, I'm a living example of a case that almost ended up like this topic we have. But thank God, I'm here today. It didn't end up that way. I
mm,
remember when I was about to get married in 2014. I was dating someone in 2012. I was dating someone, and everybody had known this person with me. Like we were already picking a shady color. The guy is free to come to my house. Even as a Christian, as a pastor, this guy can come to my house. You know how far we've gone before before
mm,
a pastor can allow a boy to come to their daughters, to come and meet their daughter in the house. So
mm,
so we traveled, and then something that happened. He just messaged me a day that, oh, I don't think I can continue with this relationship again. That was the first time I traveled to the US to see my sister. So my sister
mm,
was even asking me questions that, this is your date, so what day do you want to pick, oh, this and that. Oh. But I could not tell my sister what was happening. The message I
mm,
got from this person. The reason for him canceling the relationship was because of some things some family members were saying about me, maybe because I'm the last child, maybe my parents were overprotective, a lot of things. The story is not even about the first person today. So when I came back to Nigeria, I made up my mind that, oh, things is not working out again. Let me just move on. And we went to NYSC, and the first day of NYSC was there I met my husband now.
mm,
So we lived together in the same town for years, and then we've not met physically. We've been friends on Facebook. His friends were my friends, but I was not friends with him. He was just friend of my own friends. Okay, so now, okay, to cut the long story short, he asked me out, and we started dating. Like we started talking. You understand what I'm saying? So that was how this other guy now said he wanted to come back.
mm,
I was like, my parents love this first guy. Like, they love him so much. They wanted him. Like, they really, really wanted me to marry him. And me, I was not trying to explain to my parents that I've met another person that I love. You are the one that said you don't want to do again. So we're not coming back after 6 months that you see what you want to do again. It's not
mm,
possible now. So that was
mm,
where the trouble started. That was where
mm,
the trouble started. It
mm,
became a very, very big issue with my parents. I still remember my mom still told me that in the 30 something, okay, then was their 30 something years in marriage, that he and my dad had never looked themselves in the face to argue. That it was that my case that was the first time they argued in their marriage back then. That it was so
Wow.
mm,
terrible. I cannot even explain it on here. I did so many terrible things. I did so many nasty things that remembering them now, they are so funny, but back then they were not funny. I remember the day that I packed all my things. My parents went to church, and as soon as I saw them drove off, I packed all my belongings and I went away. For a month, they will call me, I will not speak. What do I want to bring out? My dad never left me. My dad will message me midnight, my dear daughter, I love you so much. I understand what you are passing through. How I wish you understand our own point of view also. We love you so much. We want the best for you. And my head will come down at that point. There was a time I told my husband, like, let's get pregnant now. If we get pregnant, they won't have any choice. But they're just like, we didn't do it. Like, we just said, oh, let's just be patient. Let's see where this issue will land us. There are times I want to do what this topic is telling us. Today's topic, I thought of doing it myself. Like, okay, they didn't see me again. They will leave me now. Because I was tired, I was fed up of everything. I would cry, I would do things, I would talk to people that I'm not supposed to talk to. I was frustrated. I was ready to fight with anybody back then. We had this issue for complete 2 years. I'm telling you, complete 2 years. My mom and I, yes, 2 years. It got to a point. My dad started saying things from my point of view. But women, we have this soft spot for our children that we always want our children to feel our pain. My mom will call me in the middle of the night. This girl, I suffered for you. I carried your pregnancy for 9 months. I did it like that. It's funny now, but it was not funny back then. But all through this, they were still showing me love. They were still showing me love. They were still showing me with love. People were trying to blame my parents that they are too soft for me. That's why I'm behaving. Because they are giving me chance to do this, to do that. But I know if they were asked of me, this story would have turned out to be something else by now. If they were asked on me back then, this story won't end where it ended. But they were showing
everything
me love.
Will be gara. All you needed then was love, and for them to use love to bring you back, love and understanding, and then be able to explain things maybe better the way you would understand, because iron hand will not work at this point.
Yes. And let me tell you, and because of the patience and everything, the prayers, everything, my mom also got to realize things from my own point of view. And right now, my mom is like my husband's first wife. The way my
best
mom
friends now.
Like my husband, I'm having any issues with my husband. My husband, I know, I would say my first wife. Like, we'll be joking like that. Like, my mom is his first wife at this point. The way they love themselves.
You see how close they are now.
This is the same man that my mom refused that no way in 2012. So I think these our teenagers, we need love. They need love. Love, like mom has said, they need our time. The children, they need our time. Even these little kids that we are caring about, they have feelings though. They have feelings. There are things that I will say to my son or to my daughter, and then I will now feel bad. I will not feel embarrassed on their behalf. This thing that I said is too much. I shouldn't have said it this way. Because I will now look at the boy's face or the girl's face. I will see this face that they will hear at that point. And I will realize, this thing that I've done is bad. Let me call this child and explain things to them. And they will say, okay, yes, mom. You now see that, these things were actually hot before. So we need love. And this thing, I think, this our African parents thing, is not helping matters, but I think civilization is coming, is setting in for them also. African parents are also changing now. They are changing for better now these days.
Yes.
Yeah. So
it is the only way. You see what you experience, Zoe. I equally experienced this while mine was not even as a teenager. I was already, let's say, let me even say 19, 20 maybe. You understand? When I experienced this first love thing and the heartbreak, it was so painful. Yes, please jump on the link. The link is there. Being a carer with Kes, yes, the link is there. Click on it and comment, please. I would love your input, okay? from a woman, also living in UK with her family. So I had this heartbreak, and God, it was devastating. Let me not lie. I attempted all sorts of crazy things. Me here, Blessing. I attempted all sorts of crazy. This girl that passed on, her name is Blessing. That was why the thing touched me. I could remember my own heartbreak as a young girl. When I saw this video, it hit me straight. I remember the first guy I loved so much. I couldn't summon the courage to tell my mom. My mom, this kind, they don't want any guy around me. I was already 18, 19. I was out of secondary school. Yet, they refused. My mom she would beat the living daylight out of me. Then finally, when I was 22, the guy now said it's not that, because they don't want to accept him and all that. He's tired of this, our hide and seek. And then we had issues. And then I decided, okay, let's end it. But I went through a very difficult moment that time. God, I was crying night and day. I was crying every morning and night. My mother didn't send. This kind, they don't send. They don't send me. I was going through a very tough time. My heart was bleeding. I tried crazy things I'm not proud of saying now. I didn't know. God, I don't know what this lady thought about, but I remember picking up pills then to swallow so that I can forget the pain. I didn't know it was suicide, I just carried drugs to take so that I can overcome the pain. But thank God nothing happened. Thank God nothing happened. So it's crazy. Hey, thank you so much. He's showing block and report. Yeah, so I don't know. Okay, welcome Oyoyo Wanyoma. Thank you so much.
It's the person's browser that is not supporting suìcïde.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody is saying it's showing block and report. Why?
It allowed me now.
Okay. Welcome. Okay. Yeah. Come in. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm happy we have Mommy Fechi here. We have been a carer with Kes here. We also have Olufunke, a young, beautiful wife here. Mommy is getting to be a grandma soon, and I am here. And being a carer also has a teenage daughter. So this is really beautiful. Having from different perspective, we're looking at this from different perspective, and it's heartbreaking seeing all those things. Welcome. Thank you so much.
Okay. The reason why I did come on board since is because I've been cooking. And
it's okay, but
I have stuff in the oven. Now I'm going to say this from the perspective of being a teacher, because I've been a teacher before, and I've been a head teacher, and I did that for about 13, 14 years. Yeah. And then I'll say that as a mom, my eldest daughter is 23, and she's going 24 very soon. And I have, of course, young ones as well. So this is what I have to say. Yeah, some parents, it's not exactly their fault. I'm not trying to exonerate anybody, but some do not know how to be parents in the first instance. So how can you teach what you don't know? That is not achievable. Okay, now having been a teacher, you see children come to school with spoiled food. They open their food flags. Others are eating. They are hiding. And I'm like, sweetheart, why are you hiding your food? Go on and eat. And they're looking at me. I don't know. God has given me this intuitive spirit. I know what is a problem. So I called the child. I said, okay, tell me what is the matter. And then she shows me. Of course, others are looking. I'm saying, all of you, mind your business. She shows me, my sister, the food is sour. And I asked, was your mom awake when we are coming to school? Oh, she was sleeping. So I said, who packed your lunch for you? My mom. And I was teaching in a school. If you know Lagos, Jolego Nike has the biggest schools, most expensive schools in Lagos. That was the street my school was on. You understand what I'm saying? So I look at it and I'm saying, I'm crying. Inside my heart, I am crying. What do? I share my food into two. They say, oh, miss, you're giving her. Am I not your sweetheart? Am I not your boyfriend? I said, no, today, this person is my sweetheart. So we share the food together. or I will call a cleaner to go and buy food for the child. There was one that pricked my heart. This young girl, she started her menses in class. Her menses in year 5. So as I saw her, she looked at her, she was so uncomfortable. I said, sweetheart, stand up. We're going to do this. She said, Miss, I can't. I looked at her. And my kids know me for one thing. Every single child in my class, I know them. I know their voices. So I said, what is the matter? She was quiet. I said, okay, everybody out. Go and do what you are doing. I am coming. I told my partner, please watch my children. I'm coming. So I looked, I said, what's the matter? I said, is there a problem? She said, yes. So I said, stand up. She said, I saw blood on her dress. So I said, okay, what do we do now? I said, sit down there. I think I had a coat or something. I told her to tie it. I asked someone to go and buy me pad. I gave this girl pad. I said, where's the pad? I said, keep the coat. When you come back to school tomorrow, give it to me. My dear, do you know that she took that coat home? The mother didn't even ask her, what happened to you? The mother didn't even say, take this note to your teacher. Tell her thank you. There was no such thing. Was I expecting it? Not exactly. So when I say some parents have no business being parents, I'm not kidding.
God bless you.
About being parents. See, what I hear in my class about parents, if I tell the parents, they will be ashamed. They won't come to school to pick up their children again. They will come looking very nice, but my parents were fighting.
Okay, you're back?
Yeah. I said, my parents were fighting. I said, really? I said, so where were you? And I said, shh, don't make your private business public business. That's okay. You're telling me don't tell anybody again. So when the parents come and not say, listen, see what happened, though. See what your child is saying. But please, whatever you are doing, keep it away from the child. Yes, I have a 23 years old girl. But trust me, the beginning was not easy. I will pray. I say, Lord, help me. Because you see, for you to teach a child anything, you have to role model that thing. A child learns something 8 times. 8 times a child learns something. And it takes them 28 times to unlearn that thing. That is child psychology. You cannot be preaching one thing and you are acting one thing. For every child, more than 200 that came through my class in the 13 years I worked, they will tell you, my favorite teacher is Miss Aquara. I don't mess about. I tell you to your face. They have seen me angry. They have seen me happy. They have seen me cry. They have seen me sad. They know I am human. I tell them, listen, I am like this. I didn't fall from the sky like this. I was once a child. I know how you are thinking. They're like, oh my God, you know. I say, yes.
That is it. That's that thing I'm saying. Letting them understand that you have gone through this. You understand what they're feeling. You're not a saint.
Exactly. So when they are watching their like my daughter, because I was a single parent for a long time, my daughter, any cartoon, me and she will sit down and watch it too. When I go to school, I say, you remember that cartoon? So when the children are not learning the way I have designed my lesson, what do? I bring cartoon inside. And before you know what is happening, miss, the whole class is erupted. So they know me in that school that me and my children, we can go off, we can go crazy and turn the school upside down, but in a good way. When I come into class, my kids see me, miss is here, everybody sits down, behave. They know. And so my daughter, I told her, listen, this is what has happened between me and your dad. She's a girl. Of course, all these things affected her at some point. I said, it is not my fault. It is not your fault. Your father is a loser. And I told her, any man that will not accept you for who you are, hello, kick him to the curb. He doesn't deserve you. You don't deserve to cry over such a person. God has delivered you. And I tell her, you see me how I pray. I want you to begin to pray like that. Because I have decided one thing, my dear daughter, what I went through, you will not go through. Anybody look for your trouble, give me the person's name. I will kind of put for my altar. But then I go fire and prayer. So if you ask my daughter who her mommy is, that my mommy, please don't go there. She's a mad woman. I said, tell them all. So that they mess about with you, I will deal with them. Even in Lagos, when she was growing up, 13, 14, she said, boys are eyeing her. I said, tell them boys that I will carry fights. I will wear short knicker and come to their house. So when they see her on the street,
you know that way she knows that she has a mother who got her back, a mother who is ready to shield her from wolves. You know, and she can come out openly and tell you, not someone that when you call, mommy this, you say, I'm busy. Mommy, I am busy. Mommy, not now. Mommy, I can't listen now. She knows you got her back.
Oh, what dear? How many are born? As for that, it was just that I have. And she knows I will break and give you the best, but don't mess up. I won't beat you, but because I have fostered that connection with her, that bond with her, she knows that when I'm upset, don't come near me. Don't like that on me. Don't hug me. As a parent, don't be predictable. After all, she's just going to shout, and that is it. Hello, alternate. Today you will shout. Tomorrow you keep quiet. Tomorrow you face the door. Tomorrow go to your room. Let them not know which way you are going to come. Because when they can predict you, see finish has entered. My daughter is 20-something and she tells me, oh, this person is harassing me at work. I said, come on, a lion does not give birth to a goat. I said, you are my child. Anybody stresses you, make eye contact with them. Don't raise your voice and tell them off. Because sometimes she goes to work, she's the only black person. Oh, they are doing this, they are doing that, they are doing. I said, listen, tell them to their faces, I am sorry, I do not have time for this nonsense. If you want to be friends with me, be friends with me. But if you think being friends with me or try to be friends with me is being antagonistic, I am sorry, I don't have time for that. When she went to uni, the same thing. I said, hey, babe, learn something from your mother. Don't do best friends because they will disappoint you. Do you see me with best friends? She said no. So I tell her things I went through. I was like, oh my God. And the way God will have it, she goes and she says the same thing. She said, mommy, what you said was true. I said, my dear, your best place is in God. I said, when friends have disappointed you, I will be there. I will be there. So don't listen to friends, because it is me and you in this matter. When push comes to shove, friends will run away. They'll go to their houses. Who will be left is me. So do you want to break my heart? And I said, see, I didn't break my parents' heart too. So no child can break my heart. One day she was joking because she's taller than me now. She said, mommy, I know you. If you're angry, you will jump up and slap my face. I said before, Kwanu. But nobody will mess with you. One time she had an issue with a guy. She was just feeling bad. I said, listen, don't feel bad because some loser walked out. He's a freaking loser. He doesn't deserve you. God will give you your own. I said, I'm your mother. I am praying for you. You will not go through what I went through. And you will open your eyes. That's I said to people, listen, talk to your children. You are not their friend, though. You are more than just a friend. You are their ATM machine. You are their mom, their dad, their counselor, their guide, their driver. You are everything.
Prayer warrior and all.
Oh, my daughter knows now. She was telling me one time, oh, mommy, this. I wanted to get this kind of degree, this kind of grade in uni, blah, 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 blah. I said, listen, sweetheart, no pressure. I'm not expecting anything but pass. I don't want third class, though, but pass. He said, oh, mom, thank you for the reassurance. I said, babe, I've got your back. I've got your back.
You know why? So that academically, because this is another thing that is pressuring a lot of young teenagers. Academic performance, they don't want to disappoint their parents. So they just keep pushing themselves. And when they push and it's not working, they start feeling frustrated. And when they are frustrated, they lose it and start doing other crazy things. You know, other things that will not divert their attention. So you giving that assurance that, look, I am not pushing you to be the best in the world, but anyone you bring home, just put in your best. You know, what matters to me is that you did well in school. So when they know they're not under pressure and expecting, you are not expecting first from them at all costs, they will be relaxed and able to discuss things with you.
Exactly. I certainly say, in you is Christ. The Almighty God dwells in you. He quickens your. I said, when I had you, when I was pregnant with you, I drank communion. I prayed every morning. I prayed and I declared upon you. I said, see you wait to that for this, so you will fulfill the purpose of God for your life. Any idiot that comes your way, even before they come, I set them on fire. She knows my mommy, hey, don't go there.
That is
Also, you will
it.
fulfill your purpose for your life. I am your mother. I am here. I'm not going anywhere. I didn't have a mother. My mother was not with me to see me through adulthood and everything, all the problems I went through. I said, but God will keep me for you and for your siblings. Everybody that
Some of
dares you.
us had nobody, you know, our mothers didn't even know when this thing started, said, you know, we only discovered, we only saw blood. And then, oh, you know, and we told her, and, you know, she said, okay, take this. You know, there was no preparation. You know, these are the things we're saying. No preparation. And this is how many years back? And most parents are still making the same mistakes. I can excuse our parents back then because they didn't know any better. They were too shy to discuss some of these things. They, you know, religion and yeah, not really religion per se, but like they were too shy, you know, to come out and discuss issues, biological issues with us. But today's parents, we know better. We should do better. We should do better.
My dear,
Mommy Fechi had only boys, but even with only the boys, she was able to put them through. She was able to create that bond, and they were able to open up to her. You know, it's sometimes difficult for boys to open up to their mothers, but for a woman to go to that extent, 4 boys, and you were able to establish that bond that you can discuss some of these things, the changes in the body, the challenges they are going through, and help them overcome those hurdles. That's an amazing job.
Yes, Lord. And it is something that I'm opening my oven. It's something that we all need to get a hang of. And there are some parents, yeah, when you tell them, they feel they know it all. What do you have to add? When I see such people, I laugh. And I ask myself, is it my name they are bearing or their parents' name? If you are telling you and you don't want to agree that you are making a mistake, those children are seeing you. And they're exposing your secret in school amongst their friends.
I know it all.
In this UK, you see children, 11 years, 12 years, 9 o'clock, they're outside. And I'm like, whose child is this? My child cannot be outside at 9 o'clock, at 8 o'clock. My 20-something-year-old does not do sleepover. I told her sleepovers are nonsense. They mean absolutely rubbish.
I think Oyoyo was the one saying it too, that if you want to come to my house, come. You're as a child, you want to come to sleep over with my child, no problem. But my child will not go anywhere to go sleep over because I can guarantee her safety there. But I can guarantee her safety under my roof.
Do you know what they do? Those places, I am sorry, they do things there that you don't want to hear. Yes. My sister told me a story. In America, something happened. These people came for sleepover in this girl's house. Now, this guy that came with marijuana. I was in cocaine now. And the parents, okay, go to basement. Since it's your friend, go and do sleepover there. The girl that she didn't want to try the marijuana. The other one said, try, there's nothing wrong with it. See, I'm doing it. The girl now took small. She slept. That one woke up, say, okay, I'm going, woke her up. The girl didn't wake up. She did not think it necessary to call the paramedics. When her mother came, she said, oh, so-and-so is not waking up. I tried to make her, she's not waking up. They checked, the girl was dead. So when I say I am not doing sleepover,
God have mercy.
Do you know initiations that I've done at sleepovers? Do you know what they do there? I am not.
God have mercy.
I don't have plenty children. The small ones that I have, I beg, no vex. I will watch over there like a mother hen. Yeah. So all my daughter's friends, for instance, they come to the house. I said, bring your friends to the house. I want to see them. Because growing up, my father would say, who is your friend? Bring them. Okay, I know the father. Continue with that friendship. Or he would say, that father is nonsense. I don't want to see with that person. So my daughter's friends, particularly the girls, bring them. Let me see their face. Let me begin to dissect them spiritually. Who is right, who is not right? If I don't like your face, I go pray. Holy Ghost, burn that bridge. As I'm doing so, I am teaching my daughter how to do same for her own children when she gets them. I'll be there by the grace of God, but she will learn how to do it by herself. Because you see, if you don't watch over your children, the society will teach them crap.
And that is what is happening today.
My little one went to school.
This is what is happening.
My little one went to school. She said, oh, she was playing. She came back home and I said, babe, what's the matter? Why are you not smiling? I said, Mom, my day was bad. I said, why was it bad? He said, oh, my friend said doesn't like me. I said, who said? He said, her friend. I said, okay, come sit down. I said, does mommy love you? She said, yes. Does daddy love you? She said, yes. So what about your siblings? Do they love your elder one? Because she's the last card. Check up. She said, they love you. I said, okay. Next time, when that girl tells you, I don't like you, I don't want to play with you anymore, tell her, hello, Jesus loves me. My mom and dad love me. My siblings love me. And I don't care if you like me or don't like me. So she went to school. She went to school. The same thing happened. So she came and said, Mommy, do you know what happened today? And all this they are talk, another year and where. I said, okay, what happened? Tell me. He said, oh, you know, so and so and so. I said, yeah, what happened? He said, oh, she told me that she doesn't like me. I said, really? I said, what did you tell her? I told her, Jesus loves me. Mommy, daddy love me. I don't care. I said, okay, what did she now say? He said, oh, she's feeling bad. I said, very good. Let her feel bad.
You see, that's what we're saying. Preparing them to be able to face rejections. You know, when you meet someone who doesn't like you, how to deal with this rejection. Some children don't know how to deal with the rejection. They don't know how to deal with
confidence. They have to be. I tell my children, even in my training sessions today, for instance, I was talking to some people. I said, listen, in life, build your self-esteem, love yourself, have self-worth, stand for something. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. I said, social media, they'll tell, oh, go and hang yourself. I tell my children, anybody that tells you go and hang yourself, tell them to go first. When they have experienced how it is, they can come and tell you.
Crazy words coming out from their mouth.
Their confidence. Build their confidence. I tell my children, listen, me, I love you. That's all you need. You don't need a best friend. Why? Because best friends can turn on you when it is convenient for them. Again, my daughter went somewhere. She had the same thing. She said, oh, mommy, you said it too. I said, see what I told you? And God is helping me. When I talk to them, He brings an occasion where they experience it and they come back to say, Mommy, you said so. See, this is what's happening.
Because you are proactive, you already prepared their mind. So when they go out and it happens, they come back and give you a report like, wow, you said it. But if you had not said anything, how would they have been able to deal with that situation? And this being proactive is one thing that will help parents see ahead and be able to put in words there before those things will happen. It's like you putting a pillow down so that when a child falls, the child will not hit the head on the slab or on the marble or the tiles. So when you put a pillow, knowing fully whether if this child standing here now falls, the pillow will cushion the child. You know, it will help support the child. But if there is nothing on the floor, then that child will fall and hit the head on the tiles. And what will happen? The child will cry. This is the thing. Preparing ahead.
You see, in life,
Mommy want to say something? Since you unmute her mic, I don't know. Are you there with me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let me just say something before I go down, because as I say, my sister just arrived. Yes. The last thing I want to say before sorry?
I said,
thank you, my dear. Thank you. I'm here listening to you. Yes, it's we really have to, teach our children who we are. If they understand us as parents and know that there are certain things we cannot tolerate from people out there, it will actually help them to face the world better. But if we are that kind of children that already talks them down at home and tells them that they are nothing, that they are this, that, when they go out there and they meet such people talking down on them or don't want to be friends to them or don't want to, they will now think, oh, after all, my own mom or dad or whatever always says to me that I'm stupid. But do you know that some parents say that to their children? You are a stupid child. You don't even know I don't even think I'm your mom. Some mothers open their mouth and say this to their children. So what do you expect from that child? Some parents, when they just lose it, they open their mouth and talk rubbish to their children, and this affects these children more than anything else anybody says out there. That one their mom or dad says to them carries more weight. But when they go out there and meet such useless people and come back home, and just like being a carer with care said, if you now counteract it and say to them that I'm loved by God, I'm loved by my parents, I'm loved by this, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, and you just, that child will be bold enough to say these things out there. But if you're already talking them down at home, what chance do they have? And the next thing I want to say before I jump down is this sleepover. When I raised my children up, there was this sleepover was a big thing. And looking at us coming from Nigeria in the 80s to this country and
sleepover where? Who never
yeah.
even hear it. We didn't even know about it.
Yeah, I'm like, I said, please explain to me, what do you mean? You mean my children, yeah, will come to your house and sleep overnight? Yes. For what now? Why? It just doesn't.
No, they don't have bed.
It doesn't really sink in at all. So our children grew up, even when the one that is saying, oh, let them come, they can come to me, but our children won't go to them. Let them not come to me, because if anything happens, they may bring something with them that our children are not even familiar with, and they may do that thing in my house overnight. And if anything, like what being a carer with care said, that if anything happens in your house, you don't even know what that child came in with, and your children may not even be aware of that. And as far as the law is concerned, we are here in UK. This is not a you can say, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. No, here you have to explain. That person may have passed, and that they will do post-mortem, and they will find something in their system. That child's parent would deny that they may know, they may even be part of that group, even the parents themselves. And then you are now in trouble. They will deny, my son or my child never ever tried this before. What did you people do in your house? That becomes your house becomes a crime scene. No, they are not coming to me. They're not coming to my house. They're not coming to you. Everybody has got their own beds in their house. When they meet in school tomorrow, let them say hello. But this idea of sleepover or nonsense, it was a shock to me. Just like it was a shock to me for people to ask me when I asked about circumcising the first child I had, my first son I had here, asking me, why do you want circumcision? Is anything wrong with him? I'm like, where am I? Where exactly am I? What's going on?
What planet?
That was exactly how I felt when that issue of sleepover was. So our sons knew immediately that this is a no, not for us to go, not for them to come. Everybody to their own home, meet in school tomorrow, and that's the end of the story.
Israel.
Yes, and they grew up like that, and it wasn't a problem at all. So you have to start on time to instill it in them. It's not everything that you jump to. Anything that is going on in the society, you want because you want your children not to be left out. If they have to be left out in this particular sleep nonsense, let them be left out. Because I don't see the gain, because you're going to cause big problem for yourself and your children by allowing that kind of thing. So that one of sleepover, it was just history to me, and it was stopped immediately. It was brought up, and it never, it wasn't a problem for them when they were. Because this didn't happen when the children were mainly in primary school and maybe secondary school age when they do that nonsense. But no. Parents, please don't allow it. Not for them to come to you, not for them to go to them, because you don't know what will happen. Igbo people say that abani diegu means that night is deep. Night is deep. We don't know what goes on in the night. Anything can happen overnight, and your children have to be under your roof. That's why they're your children. That's why you're the parent. You have to be there under your roof in the night. If they cough and they're coughing so much, you have to go to their room and know why they're coughing. Not that they're in somebody's house doing sleepover. That thing, I don't even want to hear that word, honestly.
Thank you so much, Mommy.
So that's
really
why I'm going to round it up tonight. Please, parents, let us do our best. Let us continue to do our best for our children. I must say, it was easier for me raising up my children in the 80s and 90s. Now, even those my children who are in their 30s and late 20s and mid 20s now, they look at some of the things happening and they're like, oh my God, you think that they're old men, the way they react to some of the things happening these days, so those days, things were better than what is going on now. They didn't have mobile phone. There was nothing like mobile phone those days when we were raising them up. So now things have moved on a lot. So parents now, they have more challenge than I did when I raised. Yes, they have more challenge than we did when we raised our own up in the 80s and 90s. And then parents, our own children, like our children now beginning to have children, they will have even bigger challenge, So it's a case of doing what you can and then putting God first in everything, praying for them before they go to school. Lay your hand on them before they go to school. Speak onto them that what consumes other children, what derails other children will never derail them. They will not be. Just say things and lay hand on them when they go out. And I'm telling you, it works wonders. Yeah.
I second that.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We have Oyoyo Fresh, the freshest of all of them all, the freshest queen here.
Welcome, lovely Oyoyo.
Thank you, Mommy.
You're coming up. I'm going down because I'll be in the chat for a little while. But yeah.
Okay, Mommy. Good night. Love you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Kara. Yes, thank you. Amazing conversation.
Kate is making dinner and she's here in the chat. I mean, on the live stream as well.
Yeah. So I've been listening. Sorry for coming this late because it was a topic that was dear to my heart. But unfortunately, I got a distress call from my mom.
What happened? I said after the stream I was going to give you a call. What happened? Hope all is well back home.
I don't know the people that entered her compound, and it's a very large compound. So she lives.
Your sister's compound?
No, my mom. So she lives with help, her domestic staff by themselves. So I was a bit worried, but as God will have it, one of my uncle finally got to our own house. So I think they are faring okay. All right. Yeah.
Thank God.
I know it was troubling. My mom is in her 70s and late 70s, so you can understand them. And anyway, so this topic is so dear to my heart because I have two girls. One is a preteen now, and I live in the US, whereby as young as 8 years old or 7 already have boyfriends and things like that. So you can understand the pressure it will be for a child growing up when you tell them they go to school, they see different things. It's like my mommy doesn't know what's up, or my mommy, is out. Then the big one is 12 now, and her friends, they all have cosmetic lines that they display on what they are using, from their facial, lipstick, and all that. Yeah, so you keep having conversation upon conversation and conversation. One thing I learned early enough, I don't believe in physical correction only, and then being a carer with care said, do not let your kids predict you. That is so, so, so good. I wish a lot of mothers will hear, even if it's just that portion. That portion alone.
Honestly, the funny thing is, if it's something crazy now we're discussing here, you see a lot of them here. But something that is so dear that will benefit a lot of people, you hardly see.
What I would advise you do when you finish the stream, if you have time, just that portion, do it on a short.
How did you read my mind? I was just going to say that to Yo-Yo. That you do that part as a short, because you cannot do your full video into a short.
Yeah, just that part alone. Every mother should know, every mother to be, whatever, you should just do that. Because if it's just whoa, that your kids know you, they know it ends there. But if you do and do the spanking on the butt and do the not talking to silence treatment and do also season of their gadgets, there are so diverse means of
and do the African mother I one.
Absolutely, have a diversity of that. Don't just stick to one, so that they will not be able to say, yeah, it ends there. After all, it's beating, you go beat me. What else? Do you understand? So that really made so much sense, because it's not easy raising kids overseas, especially in this dispensation, they all have telephones with them and smartphones for that matter. My daughter has, and we've had one or two, kind of conversation back and forth. This classmate has a boyfriend at age 11. I said, what
I said, so.
Honestly, I said, what are they talking at as boyfriend? She said she doesn't know that sometimes they kiss. I said, and she come and tell you that. She said, no, she doesn't even that you just see them kiss in school. I said, at age 11.
In school?
Yeah, I said, why are they in a hurry to grow up?
Oh, God.
My daughter said that I didn't know. Guess what? 2 months down the line, the boyfriend and girlfriend is over. I say, you see, what did I tell you?
They even reached 2 months. They even reached 2 months. They tried.
So when you keep hearing that, you have to always be in communication with your child. You have to tell your child. As far as my daughter is concerned, there are some things you don't do with daddy because daddy can pull up a gun and daddy can do it. Daddy can threaten and all of that. There are some things, but as a mother, it's not just telling you what I would do. I have to sit you down, give you reasons you shouldn't do that, why that is not acceptable, why you shouldn't go that route. And this conversation doesn't stop. Another thing I will say here for people hearing our voices, if you're a mother, don't be over strict with your child. When I mean over strict, don't just let it be your way and your way alone. You understand? I have someone now, she's in college. When she was in high school and middle school, elementary school, her mother never allowed this girl to do ordinary braids. The braids we do. No. That you have to always twist your natural hair. It has to be your natural hair. I don't want all those nonsense on your hair. That is your definition of how she should look. This girl approached me. Can you help me talk to my mom? I called. I said, please, even if it's, I will take her to the salon. She's tired of combing her hair. This one is painful. I will take her to my hairdresser. They will just wash the hair, straighten the hair, let it be easy on her. Her mother said, Cham, it's not happening. I said, okay, how about braids? Her mother said, Cham, it's not happening. First year of university, the girl is singing nigga this, up, down, fuck this.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. You see?
That is
you
rebellion.
See that?
Your first year in the university, she when she came back from after the first semester, she came to visit me. I saw she was wearing wig. I said, wow, what a transformation.
Okay.
What happened? The father couldn't say a word. The mother said, don't mind her. I don't know how she thinks that this nonsense that makes her look beautiful. I said, auntie, but I told you when she was still in your house. Sometimes you let her make braids so that she will not see it as a big thing, a big deal.
Exactly.
Let her just at least look decent. Not by your own definition of being decent. No. Let her have her hair clean. But you refused. Now she's out of your control. If you see her TikTok video, I had to even do screenshot and said to Onwadia, if you can't believe this is the same girl 2 years ago.
Honestly. When I watched that video, the language they were using,
I'm telling you,
for that age, and the belly, the way they expose themselves.
I was
Julie, thank you so much. Julie's here. I appreciate you, Julie. Thank you so much. Welcome, Renelle. Thank you so much. I saw that. I was like, okay, the mother just bought. In fact, she just bought big market. Yeah, she has to deal with it. It
was over strict. So the girl thinks it's a big deal. Once I get out of the house, I'm going to do it my way. So when you discipline, at the same time show love, at the same time bring closer, you understand? Let her understand, no matter what, I got your back. No matter what, this is it and that is it. You keep talking. You keep that communication. We can't overemphasize it. It is on a daily basis. Yesterday, my daughter was like asking me, Mommy, do you think it's okay if for me to have a boyfriend in my senior year in high school? I said, a boyfriend senior year, which is just 1 year for you guys to leave school. She said that she was asked, and I said, let me tell you, by the time you guys finish that for last year of school, he will be in another college, you'll be in another college, and then he will find another beautiful sister, girl. That means your heart is already broken. Can you handle?
Imagine how long will she now have with the boyfriend before high school? You see the angle you took it from?
Yeah, so my mother will say, hey, that's true. That I say, you see, because you're going to go to your own university, he will go to university again. And in the process, you might meet different people. So another thing I keep telling my kids, I don't know if it's going to help anybody. There is no rush in growing up. I keep telling them every day how I wish I'm a child again. There is so much burden being an adult.
Tell me about it.
If
If only they know that adulthood is a big scam. Honestly, give me one chance now to become a child again. Oh, I'm grabbing it with both hands. I'm tired of this adulthood. I'm grabbing it.
I tell them every day how I wish. But you know what? Be a child first. Enjoy your childhood. Grow up in the normal process of things. Don't rush anything. Those having boyfriends in your class, what do they gain? When they now become adults, what would they be doing? They will become grandma in the affairs of young people. Why not grow with time? I'm not saying when the boyfriend time comes, you're not gonna have, but right now is not a topic of discussion.
Not the time.
Yeah, it's not something we should talk about. We should be talking about how you're going to be focused and get the right thing at the right time. There is time for
welcome, Miss B. Thank you so Miss B, thank you so much. Please give me a thumbs up, okay? I appreciate you. Renelle, give me a thumbs up, okay? Please give me a thumbs up as you come in. Don't forget to do that. So adulthood is a scam. I'm tired of adulthood. I want to be a child.
I know my kids were like, serious? I say yes. But you know what? Once you're an adult, if you start working, there is no rest until you retire. So now that you're a child, enjoy being a child. Don't think about makeup, lipstick, eyeshadow. No, they're not necessary. You're putting chemicals on your body.
Tell them that spice it up that does it gets tired of the makeup. Yep. I get tired of it.
But my own remedy that is that they're all chemicals. You're adding and like there's something being a carer said. By the time they realize that, they will now come back and say, Mommy, you said it, well, that thing happened. Look at it. It works magic. When I mean it works, my daughter is in advanced math class. And then there is this thing they asked them to work on yesterday. She was doing it. She wasn't getting her hands on it. She now started busting, she was frustrated. And then her classmates were busy sending text message. For some reason, one of her classmates put her number in another group chat. So text messages were coming back to back. And she was trying to concentrate to resolve this big math problem. She wasn't making any headway. She busted out crying. And I was in her room because that's how I spend my evening. So I now said, you know what, baby, can you shut down? And she said, no, I must get it right. I must solve the problem. I said, okay. That what I used to do when I was studying, if I'm having a brain freeze kind of, or brain fog, I would just take a deep breath, drink water, walk around my room, close the laptop, and get some fresh air. By the time I visit that subject again, I'll have a clearer idea. My daughter refused. She wanted to get it. So when she did not get it, she broke down crying. So we now have another. By the time we were done crying, I had to disable that message they put her name on, the class chat. I had to block all of them and all of that. And then she now fell asleep from the cry. Then by the time she woke up, she felt better, went refresh herself, went back to her desk, and she solved the math problem. When she finished, Mommy, you said it. I said, I told you. And this is not the one this is many out of so many things I've told you. Those that had boyfriend last year, haven't they broken up? She said, yes, they've all broken up. Do you understand? So they should be able to have this continuous. If you want to do it, they will run away. They won't discuss those things. But bring them closer so that you even know what is happening at school. I had a sister live with me for a few years. Those days, my daughter would come back from school and tabulate everything that happened at school from A to Z to my sister. My sister was the listening ear. Then YouTube was my duty. So my sister would listen and listen. They would laugh and laugh. Then they would come and tell me the story. So fast forward, my sister is gone. I now went back to my position of being a mother, right? If she comes back from school, hey, what happened today? She will start from assembly. from the bus, so from the entering the bus.
You will say, oh God.
And sometimes some of the stories are not what you're interested in listening to, but you have to listen. And if you're not listening, they will tell you you're not paying attention. So
I've heard my little girl, I've heard her say, I wrote a story, I want to read out the story. And then she will have to start, this kind storytelling, fabricated stories, quite all right, But the way she puts it, you will be wondering, how did they put this story together? She kept on going and going and going. And I'm just laughing at the background. Oyoyo was like, oh, wrap up now. She will continue. And then, yeah, I'm rounding up now. She will continue telling the story and say, yes, can you give us the ending part of the story now? Say, yes, I'm coming, mommy. I'm coming, mommy. Then she goes on and on for another.
Honestly, it's unending. So you can understand the dude. It's not, see, and yesterday, my heart was so broken so badly over what I saw on the internet. I'm going to say it here. Don't marry because the society is telling you to marry and have children. If you know you cannot be patient for a child, don't bring a child to this world. If you know that child's cry can wake you up from sleep, you're not ready to be a father. You're not ready to be Don't get into it. Don't, because it takes patience to raise children. It takes a lot of energy, responsibility, emotion, everything in between to raise a child. If you're not ready and you're listening to our voices, don't get into it because others are doing it. And because the church said you must marry before you start having an intimacy with a woman, don't marry because of sex. Don't marry because of what the society said. Because the next thing will be offspring. And if the kids come and you can't handle it, you're bringing menace to the society. Don't.
I wept this afternoon when you sent me that thing. I broke down.
I couldn't believe it. A father, your 2-year-old cried. And the next thing you picked a
2 years or 2 months? 2 months.
2 months old. You picked a hanger, plastic hanger, and hit this child until the hand got broken. And the hand, you locked them in the house and the hand just started decaying. They have to ampute the hand because you want to sleep. So we can't stress parenting. It's a lot of work, but it's a work that comes with some reward, because when you see them do well, you glorify God for helping you to model another human being. And it should be done with love, with every attention that it requires.
Absolutely.
You know what, you said a lot of beautiful things there, and I totally agree with you. Because like I said, I've been a teacher, I have seen children. And one thing I tell the children when they start misbehaving, I tell them, whose name do you bear? Is it my name? They said, no, their father. I said, so your father has worked hard to pay your fees. You stay here in a school where there's AC, when there's no light, you have air conditioning. How many children can afford it? I said, ask your parents when you get home, if they were in a school that had AC. Ask them how they survived. And one thing us parents are guilty for, a lot of us are yes parents. Everything, okay, yes, go. Now, when you tell a child, this is purely child psychology now. When you tell a child, yes, the day you say no, they will question you. Why you say no?
Yeah.
And then you turn that child to be an entitled so and so. A child who cannot take no, either boy or girl, what do they become? They become bullies. They feel, what the heck? My mom always tells me yes. Why would you tell me no? One day on the TV in the UK, I saw this boy say, oh, my mom bought me a phone. That was like 3-4 years ago. I said, how much is the phone? They said 650 pounds. I said, eh? And the boy had the audacity to say, oh, my mom did 2-3 jobs. And that the mom's phone is not as good as his. She uses rubber to do it. I said, oh. I said, me.
What?
I said, me. Go and do 2 jobs.
She works 2-3 jobs, and then she can't use a good phone, but she bought such a phone for the son.
650 quid. My daughter that is matured now, that is a woman now, then she bought me a phone. I said, who's buying that phone? It's not happening, no. Second hand. Now she's in uni. Of course, she worked for a bit before going to uni. I said, you are working. If you buy expensive phone, you pay for it yourself. Shebi, you are working. He said, yeah. And she tells me, Mommy, the way you raised me, please raise my younger ones like that. I said, my dear, that's why you are there now. You're my 2IC. If I forget, you remind me or you do it yourself. So we must learn that whatever we are doing as parents, our children are watching.
Yes.
You have to decide, will you be a parent or the child will be a parent? I was teaching in the school in the UK. It got to a point, I said, come on, who is the parent now? Is it the child or the parents? A child comes to school, oh, Mom, I don't like the teacher, blah, 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 blah. And the parents come, excuse me, oh, my daughter doesn't really like you much. Can I change her class? And I'm like,
They control the parents, control the narrative at home.
Is it not the parents that want to be controlled? My son come to me and said, well, this teacher, blah, blah, blah. I said, excuse me. I said, did I send you to school to not like a teacher? I sent you there to learn. You take what you need. You leave the rest alone. Don't bother about whether a teacher likes or doesn't like you, particularly my eldest. I said, don't bother. You are there for a reason. When you think you will leave him there, you got to sort out your life. It doesn't mean nothing to you. It doesn't mean nothing. But I'm grateful to God. Like I said, having a child, not just giving birth. For as long as that child is your child, every single day you wake up and you lay down to sleep. This is my pattern. I present them before the throne of grace. I present them before the altar of God. And I decree, no, these ones, Lord, they bear your mark. The rod of the wicked will not rest upon them. They will not be consumed or contaminated by the things of the world. Rather, they will show their age with their generation how it is to walk with God. Shebi na me na my body they come out from. What I decree is what will stand. So I ask us as parents, what are you decreeing over your child? Are you letting other people decree or are you decreeing? Because if you ask me, don't say I am too religious. I am not religious, I am spiritual. I believe everything starts and ends with prayers. My mother did not pray for me like I pray for my children. My father did not pray for me like I pray for my children. So I told them, that is their life. I don't blame them. That's what they knew. I said, but for me and you people, I will train you. My children, my youngest two are under 10. I said, listen, you people, today, you read the Bible. When you finish reading the Bible, you will explain to me what you read. You have the family devotion. And let me tell you something, one secret. A family that prays together. Back in there. A family that prays together stays together. Because that is one easy platform. That's one easy platform to talk to your children. That is one easy platform. So today I will pray. To the next weekend, Daddy will pray. Oh yeah, you will pray. You will read the Bible. Then you now explain in your own small understanding what you have understood. And then we will take it from there. Because some of us, we don't have that for spirituality. But let me tell you something. Whether to parents out there, the spiritual controls the physical. The spiritual controls the physical. When you run after God, there is nothing you will desire in this life that He won't give you. When you commit your children to God, because the truth is that the Bible says that they are God's children. We are only custodians. And at the end of life's journey, God is going to ask you, the children I gave you, what did you do with them?
Absolutely.
What did you do with them? Because your children are the ones you say, Lord, you gave me this. I bring them back to you. What did the Bible say? They shall be like arrows. On your hand, you will shoot them and they will speak with the enemy at the gate. Now, if they are empty, how can they speak with the enemy at the gate?
No way. I
told myself, I will not cry over any child of mine. My parents did not cry over me. Neither will any of my children cry over. Will I cry any over my children? Some people say, they're too young. I say, I beg you, they are my children, my own. I will start now. Why I can still bend them. You don't wait until they are grown where they're like bonga fish. You bend it, it breaks.
They become rebellious at that stage. But when you start early enough, that time that habit of theirs is not formed. You start bonding, you start communicating, you start instilling and inculcating early enough. It will be very, very easy. When they become teenagers, you don't even need to shout, because everything the foundation has been laid. You don't need to stress. Welcome, Vicky. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Queen. And thank you for the thumbs up. You see, it's just like bringing a hard tree that is, a stick that is dry already. If you try bending it, you will break it.
Definitely.
But that time it is still fresh. If you try bending it, it will stay. That is when they make bows. When it's still very soft, you don't wait when it is hard. If you try bending it at that time, it's going to crack. So when parents don't start early enough, when they are teenagers, you are seeing breasts and seeing boobs, and then you want to start saying, don't follow boys, so don't follow. A 16 years, you want to start telling her now, don't follow boys. What happens to when she was 8, when she was 6, when she was 10? Olufunte, help me ask my dog, so my neighbor's dogs will not let me have peace on my live streams. That is their playtime. They should enjoy it. It's their playtime.
Give a cookie and some book.
All this a cookie dog.
Let me tell you something. My daughter told me something, yeah? Like I said, she's in uni, so she's seeing people. So I tell her, I say, listen, my dear girl, if I am harsh with you, it's because out there, everybody is not going to be nice. So let me begin to show the different shades of people. In her first year at uni, she called me, oh, mommy, see, you said it, oh. I said, I told you, my dear, I am preparing you for the outside world. It's nobody that smiles with you that means you well. Some are smiling but are bad. Do you understand it? So you yourself, be prepared. Give them room to misbehave. And you hold yourself. Do not put your trust in anybody, because they will disappoint you. Why? They are humans. And what does the Bible say? Woe is he that rests on the arm of flesh. Even me, your mom, don't trust me. I love you with the love of my heart. Out of love, I could do things that I shouldn't be doing. Out of love. But know this, I got your back. Whatever I do is for your best interest. One day she went to school, she came and said, Mom, do you know what they did in school? When she was telling me, I put my hand on my head. I said, oh, Jesus Christ, my labor of love will not be in vain. And I said, did you participate? She said, Mommy, you raised me well. I said, what did you say? You raised me well. I will not disappoint you. That is a 24 years old young woman. At that point, I hugged her. I said, thank you, my daughter. As you have given me honor, so will your own children give you honor. If they don't, I will knock their heads into place. Do you understand me? Make your children to the point where they are confident in themselves. And where can you do that? In the word of God. I am sorry, I'm not a preacher or whatever, but see, I have come through life. And the one place I could rest my head is in Christ. It has
been working for you and you are seeing the fruit. If it is not working for you and you are not seeing the fruit, you won't be saying this. You won't be saying that it is working and you can see the evidence of it.
When people come to my house, my children, anybody that comes to my house, they are butchering for them. Because in my language, you say migwo to your elder. Everybody, or you bo black, I say, what is it now? Don't digwe. Or they want to call them by their names. I'm like, excuse me, is that how you were raised? Oh, sorry, mom, uncle, fine. So, but they are abroad now, and that's how I say, what rubbish is that? Not my children, no. They go to school after school club. When I go to pick them, they tell me, Kes, your kids are so well mannered. I say, thank you. I said, sir, do you see now? Is it me that they praise you people? I say, it's us, mom. So you see, that's what happens when you are good. When you are good, there's always someone to defend you. When you want to be nasty, you will only regret it.
Yeah. And
I tell them, you must not have friends. If your goodness or your excellence or whatever, is not judged by the number of friends that you have. And I tell this to my eldest as well, because she's a woman already. I said, your goodness is judged by how you behave and you treat others. Don't wait for people to say, oh, you're very good. No, know yourself. Believe in yourself.
A lot of wisdom here, a lot of wisdom flowing here. I wish many parents, I wish a lot of mothers especially, will come across this and just have a rethink, you know, because I keep saying this, parenting style have changed. It is no longer the same. It is no longer the same. I think Oyoyo's daughter, she will be the one to tell the mother that, mom, this person did this. You need to come to my school and discipline them. You need to come to my school and show them how to do it, because you wouldn't have taken it, you know, because they know what their mother is capable. Not by spanking.
That my daughter is the one that is 8. They had a first-time teacher when they were in 2nd grade, and then they were 7 that time. So it was a first-time teacher. The guy was having a difficult time with the kids in school. So my daughter felt so sorry for the teacher. He said, you know what? My mother can substitute for you. Just send her email. She's going.
When you're not a teacher.
She's going to discipline that child. She's very good at it. My daughter was looking for a job from you. She's very good at it. Because that child, you know what? When my research said, if you're sending them to school, you pray for them. You understand? And then being a carer with care said the same thing. You don't know the classmates they have. That particular child, very troubled child. That child has gone to the principal maybe over 70 times before they finish his school year. He has gone, you know, they are the people they put under watch list in school. Always a counselor is always available for that child. So you can find that and the same child sitting in the same class with your own child. So even when you instill all those good qualities, you have to still pray for them. You have to, when they come back from school, you still have to do revisit everything that happened in school. So if there is anything they've taken in, you have to let them drop it at the door. Okay, and no, that is not the way to live. So when I say parenting is not a day's job, and that's the only vocation that has no salary attached to it, and at the same time, most challenging and most rewarding vocation ever. So I keep saying it: if you're not ready, don't get into being a parent. If you're not ready. And another thing I want to touch base here, I know you'll be rounding up soon, the issue of what is it called, sleepover.
Usi Space, welcome. Please give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Julie.
All right. The sleepover thing is very foreign to us that came to overseas, okay, because it wasn't what we're used to, and they were wearing raised that way and all of that. The first 3 years of my stay in the US, my sister-in-law called, because we have a family here. I have my kids, they have cousins around. So this woman called me that her daughter wants to come for a sleepover. Then my daughter was 5, and then the other one was 1+, going to 2. The other one was about 2 or thereabout. Then this lady, the girl coming to me was 7. That she doesn't do, that the girl has been crying, that she doesn't go for sleepover, blah, 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 blah. It's okay. Fine.
Well, your daughter was 5 at the time.
Yeah, she was 5.
Didi was 5 at the time. Yeah. And Lexi was 2. And then the lady coming, the young lady coming to do sleepover is 7.
7, yes. And the reason why she wanted the girl to come, so that she can experience what it is to have a sleepover. Because sometimes they cry that other kids do this. You don't want me to go to my class. Okay, I want to go to auntie's place. I say, fine and good. So the girl came. And then in the morning, I didn't know if I should give her a bath because I was still bathing my own kids. So, and I asked her, how do you take your bath? She said, I said, do you take your bath by yourself at home? She said, yes. I said, okay, I'm going to stand by the door and close the curtain. If you need help, I'm just right here. You know, it was challenging for me, but I had to be a mother. And then after that, she was so happy she wanted to come again because Saturdays are the best day in my house. We have family breakfast. And then my other friends,
Yummy pancake.
yes, so every Saturday. Then my other friend, she has 3 sons and a daughter. So the sleepover was in my house. That one I can understand because these are children I know. I know when they were born. I know their parents. I know family and all of that. But my little daughter wants to do sleepover with my neighbor. I say, this one no.
Neighbor here. Next door.
I said, this one no enter. She said, Mommy, but there's no other person to do sleepover. They're all older than me. I say, I know. But okay, let's
bring her to Brazil to come and do sleepover because
you know she's so the thing is we try to like conform to at least the desires of the kids, but there are so many ways you can still achieve that same good thing you want to do for your child. Do not throw your child to go and sleep over with a classmate that you can't verify what the parents are into, or you can't verify them. There was a documentary I watched on TV of what happened in 1971. That was an eye-opener for me. The girl went for a sleepover, not knowing that the friend's father was engaging with the daughter. And then when the girl came in there, he engaged the girl as well, and then asked them not to speak.
Jesus.
You can experience that and feel free to let your child, especially whether boy or girl, go to someone's house. It was a story. They had to unravel it, and the mystery was recently solved in 2021. What happened in 1970? So you can understand. At the end of the story, it happens that that man was not the biological father of that girl. He stole, you understand? And then made babies with the girl. And before making babies with the girl, he did that to the girl's friend that went for a sleepover. And it was because they were doing investigation many years after that the girl opened up and even told her parents. So she never told anybody for over 20 years. So we should be careful.
You know, Oyoyo, you were not here when I was saying, welcome at home with Mansa Queen. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you, see. Welcome. Please, guys, give me a thumbs up if you have not given me. Dash me. I love thumbs up, okay? Now, I was saying this. There's a young lady that just yesterday, the mother, the woman that this group I belong to, and the woman is asking, it's just all women group, asking for help, that she doesn't know how to go about this situation right now, that there's the daughter's classmate that has been abused twice, and she lives with a parent twice. One was when she was 6, the other now just a few months ago, and on these two occasions she has never told her parents and they don't know about it. But she confided in her classmate, who happens to now tell her mom. So now the parents in that group are putting heads together on how to go about this to help this girl without getting this other girl involved. So if this girl doesn't want to, because she's feeling her childhood has been taken away from her right from when she was 6 years, and then recently again, and it may still happen again if nothing is done about it. And this girl may get into depression and then decide to just delete herself at the end of the day. Okay, so this case you're talking now, how maybe this girl there's no relationship between her and her parents, so how will she even open up? And it boils down to what we are discussing now. If there is relationship bond, the first thing that girl would have done is when she go home, trusting her parents, because that threat from the man is what silenced them, and the girl in particular. If the man hadn't threatened, and even if he had threatened, and she and her mom or the parent had this special bond, that bond would have diffused the threats from that man, and that would have made investigation, easier years before. It wouldn't have taken this long before they unravel the mystery behind it. So it's been happening. And there are a lot of young ladies who are married today who are still traumatized because they have gone through this, but they didn't tell a soul, not even a single soul. It's still here. It has shaped and formed them. It's here. they still carry that scar in their hearts. Because there was nobody to talk to. Not even the mom. Even if the mom, this young girl is still dealing with issues with her parents, but can't open up.
Absolutely.
Now they are finding a way.
My final word before I leave is parenting these days should be intentional. Every mother, every father, you should pay extra more attention to your kids, to the environment. You should know who is your child's friend. It's working and it really works. Don't just isolate your child. Okay, school thing. No, get to know what is working. You bought the phone for her. Take care of the phone. Check phone history. Know the sites the child is visiting. If there is anything they are doing, get involved. If they want to watch cartoon, do Saturday, Friday movie with them. Just get involved with raising your children. Don't be a stranger while you live in the same house. And don't think because you're doing 3 jobs and 5 jobs and 20 jobs, you're going to use money to substitute your time. No, it can never substitute your time. There was another thing Mommy Feti said, if you call your kids bad name at home, it's going to stick more. And somebody once told me that the father called because the boy wasn't doing well at school. The boy said, what is wrong with you? You goat head, your not head is nothing but coconut head. So the mother now trying to make effort on sitting the son down to do homework. He said, Mommy, what's even the essence of doing this homework? After all, Daddy said I'm a goat head. So you can understand. So, yeah, let's be careful. Let's be careful the utterances we make, the names we call our kids. You know, let's be careful. That one, I learned it as a child because my mother told us a story of what happened when she was having babies. That where they lived, you know, at the time, one woman was calling the son or something. The child wasn't answering. He said, thunder, that's a thunder should strike the child down. And that's how most parents back home relate to their children, with abusive words. Thunder,
yes.
this, you know. Yeah. So there was a teacher in their compound at the time, a headmaster that lives in the same property with them. So the teacher now said, who is the thunder going to strike? He said, is he not that stupid boy? That he's very stubborn. The teacher now called the woman. If thunder should come now and strike this child, you'll be the first person to cry. That why can't you use some kind words towards your children? This happened before I was born. Maybe imagine when I had the first or the second child. You understand? So I learned that one on time because my mother tried to be careful with the words she used because of that education that headmaster gave to a woman in the compound. So people should be careful with utterances, especially the names you call your children. If you don't have anything kind to say or good names to call them, please don't call any at all. Zip your mouth. That will be my final take. You guys should have a blessed evening.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Oyoyo. You have been amazing. Yes, thank you so much. And we'll be wrapping up and being a carer with cakes.
Let me drop something
before I wrap up. Yeah,
of course. So to all parents out there, this is what I have to say to you guys. If you have male and female children, have a time when you go out with your daughters. You say, today is a girls' day out. Yeah. If you're a mother, you have a son, have a time you say, this is me and my son. So that you can begin to teach your son how to treat women. You can talk to your daughters how to be good women. I remember when I was a teacher, they always gave me problematic children. This particular boy, one day he came to school, he was very stubborn. From year 4 to year 5, because I'm in year 5. And then when I come to my class, your behavior must change. If your behavior does not change, you'll not like being in my class. So once they come in, they behave. So they always give me the problematic children, push them to her class. Now, before my children come to school, I take their names and I pray over each one of them. And I anoint them. And I tell God, these children, before they leave my class, whatever crap they came with, they will drop it. before they leave. And God has helped me. There was this boy, he was living with his cousin. The cousin was very brilliant, but he wasn't. He was, you know, when you say a child is violent. So one day he showed the violence. They had told me before. I said, okay. I said, he did. I said, and I said, are you done? He said, yes. I said, so what have you achieved? He couldn't look at my face. I said, my darling, you don't need to be violent. All you need to do is just sit down, take a deep breath, and express yourself. My children used to call me an angel. One day, this boy came to school. I said, the sun that day in Lagos was powerful. This boy was wearing jumper. I said, sweetheart, come. I used to call him my boyfriend. I said, if I call you my boyfriend, it means you are going to behave. I don't make boyfriends with silly people. He said, I promise. So that's what we copped that one day. He came to school this day. The boy was wearing jumper. I said, sweetheart, why are you wearing jumper? My boyfriend, why are you wearing jumper? He said, no, I'm just cold. I said, no, you're not cold. So I pulled him to the side. I said, what happened to you? He was looking at me. His eyes were welling up in tears.
Wow.
So I said, come. I pulled the jumper up. I looked at his back. See design for the back.
Oh.
I said, what happened? He started crying. People were not looking at me. I said, all of you, mind your business. I took him out. What happened? He told me. I said, okay, I'm going to talk to your mother. He said, no, please. I said, no, she won't touch you. I promise. The mother came. I said, please, every child have their gifts. Well, even if you have 10 children, they all cannot be the same. I said, stop comparing this boy with his cousin. Please, I beg you. And please don't beat him when you get him because he told me. This boy you see here is going to be somebody great. Do not frustrate that thing. And that is why some of these children, when they grow up, they forget their parents because of how they were traumatized by them. They forget them and they move on. What am I saying to parents out there? Know your child, each one for themselves. Try not to compare. Try not to have favorites. If you have a favorite, keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
What would you do? You will create sibling rivalry. Sometimes it can be the most unhealthy thing you can think of doing. And I pray, God, that for all of us mothers here, fathers here, we will take our children. We will cultivate with friendship with them. We'll teach them. There was something my father said, and I will get off, is that my daughter, learn from my mistakes. Don't make the same mistakes that I made. And I said, yes, Daddy. And to be honest with you, I sit back now and I look at the mistakes my father made, and I have promised myself I will not make those mistakes. I will not let my children step into those shoes. Because if not, you will have chaos on your hand. Yeah? So love you all. Before God shall say, what are you?
Whoa, you have been so amazing. Before they begin call, where is my beautiful wife? Please come to bed already. I've been waiting. You have been so amazing. I've learned so much from you, and I believe everyone in the chat here must have also learned. Learned a lot from you as well. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us on this parenting style and comparing it with back in those days, our own era, in the 70s, 80s, and comparing it with now. You have been so amazing. May God continue to give you the wisdom to raise these children and to direct their path. Thank you. I really appreciate you, and do have an amazing night rest.
Thank you, everybody in the chat. Love you guys. Take well.
Love
Bye.
you, love
Bye.
you, love you. Whoa, thank you so much. Yeah, Mom AC Kitchen and More, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Silver Outreach, thank you so much. We've been here for almost 3 hours now discussing this. And what we've been discussing, in case you haven't given me a thumbs up, please give me a thumbs up, okay? What we're discussing is what is going on here, depression and pressure on teenagers. More and more teenagers are becoming weak emotionally to handle certain things. They're having mental breakdown and they can't handle some of these pressures, and they give in by throwing in the towel, deleting themselves either by committing suicide or just doing something nasty. And we're asking, where have we gone wrong? How do we begin to handle this thing in order to reduce the number of teenagers doing this? Parenting back in those days is no longer the same in this era, because a lot of things have changed. Things have changed, whether we like it or not. We just have to find a better way, and then a better way of creating that bond, establishing that bond, that love between parents and children, because that is the only way out. Having effective communication with them, letting your children trust you enough to be able to divulge or tell you anything. Because when a child is afraid to open up, anything can go wrong and the child will not say any word. When a child is in danger, when someone is threatening a child, that child cannot tell the parent. Why? Because the parents have not proven to be there to protect and to shield them from danger. So when somebody is saying, if you tell your mommy, I will do this to you, I will do that to you. But if that child trusts that my mommy got my back against all odds, that child will still go and tell mommy, this is what is going on, and the person is threatening my life. That child will open up. And then we need to create time out of our busy work, busy lifestyle, busy schedule. Let's create time to have one-on-one talk with us children. Creating time to discuss with them, creating time to know what's going on in their personal lives, in school, with their friends. We cannot continue to ignore and claim to be very busy. I know we are busy. I know that. Bills have to be paid. They don't pay themselves. But even as we are paying that, we were looking for the money to pay the bills. What are we sacrificing on that altar? Do we forget everything? Do we forget we have children? There is a time to form them, to really form this to lay that solid foundation. There is a time to create that bond. There is a time to establish that friendship. If you cross that time, you may never get it back again. If you miss that opportunity, you may not get it again. You see, that time they are still very young. That is when you make them trust you so much. That is when you establish that friendship. That is when that bond is created. When they are formed already, that formative age, if you've crossed it, it's going to be difficult to begin to build it. So parents, I beg you, do not miss it. Do not miss this opportunity. Do not miss it, because when you miss it, all that will be left is rebellion. World is changing. Look at these children. Almost all of them have phones. They belong to one social media platforms or the other. They have all these apps, all these social media platforms. TikTok is there. TikTok is like I don't know, muddy water for them. Come and see the kind of things teenagers do. You go to Instagram, they have it. You go to Facebook, YouTube. Children are everywhere. What are we doing? Do you monitor their activities? Do you know their friends? Do you know what's going on in their lives, even on the social media handles? We need to wake up and smell the coffee. It is no longer the way we were raised. Please unlearn everything you have learned when you were growing up as a mother, as a father. Everything you must have, everything they use, the method that they raised you with is different from this method. You need to imbibe this new method of, establishing that bond, that friendship, so your children can trust you enough to believe you, to listen to you, and to trust you. Everything is not bah, 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 bah. Everything is not shouting, shouting, shouting. Children are dealing with depression. Whether we like it or not, you see the children of this era, mentally, they are not as tough and as strong as we are. Some of us went through terrible heartbreaks. Boyfriends served us breakfast left, right, and center. They have served us hot and cold breakfast. We ate the breakfast and we still stand gallant, or they she. But not today's teenagers. They will cry and think it's the end of the world. They will not know that after this boyfriend, Emeka will come and go. Jude will still be there. If it doesn't work out with Jude, Emmanuel is there. They don't know that. They think life begins and ends with Emeka. Mekus have broken their heart, so they will cry, and then some of them will do stupid things. So it is you, the mother, you, the father, that will help that child overcome. It's you that will let them understand that these things happen. They are part of life. And if you can help them avoid having these boyfriends early enough, the better. So that they can concentrate on being, being teenagers. They don't have to have boyfriends because their mates are having boyfriends. Yes, they're emotionally weak. They don't have to have boyfriends because their mates are having boyfriends. You can actually help them wait. But how you handle it, how you bring the discussion, is not, no, you cannot have boyfriends. Your mates are in school learning. Is your boyfriend American? You have to give them reasons. These children want reasoning. Reason with them and explain why they don't need boyfriend and make them understand. If they understand, believe me, they will not see any reason for that boyfriend. But if you make it by force, after all, Clara has boyfriend, Nkechi has boyfriend, Joy has boyfriend, heaven has not fallen. So if I have boyfriends, nothing will happen. They will do whatever they want to do. So we need to be a step ahead. We need to be wiser. We need to unlearn all those old ones we learned of using the rod. Kneel down, do this, you strip them. In fact, some parents went ahead and went as far as stripping their children naked. Yes. Some parents went as high as Iwosi. They open pepper and put pepper in the private parts. Some parents did that. Some parents put pepper in the eyes of their children. Open pepper, fresh pepper or dry pepper and put in the eyes of. It is no longer the same. If you are doing that, please, it is of the old. Throw it through the window. Trash that method. You try to tell any child today, you have ruined that child because emotionally they are not strong. They will see it as, in fact, they'll be traumatized for life. That even scolded, they are shouting, I'm traumatized. Imagine when you now do that. It is wrong. Our parents didn't know any better when they did all that. That's all I will say. They didn't know any better because if they knew, they wouldn't have done all that. I lived in a compound where I saw these things firsthand. Parents putting pepper in the eyes of their children in their private part because they went out with a boy and they felt they must have defied themselves. Or even stripping just to disgrace the girl. It was done back in those days. We saw it. I don't know how those children are faring today. If they are traumatized till today, I don't know. But we need to learn and imbibe new method of handling these teenage children, these young ladies, these young guys, so they can open up. And we need to also prepare them to be emotionally strong and intelligent, to make intelligent decisions. If push comes to shove, they need to think and act fast and be proactive. Don't always let them get themselves drowned on social media, always pressing their phone. Sometimes have talk, heart-to-heart talk, so you can prepare them emotionally, mentally, and psychologically. The world is messed up. It's messed up. It is you that can help your child. It is you and only you. The school is not helping. They're just there to educate, but when it comes to the moral value, I'm sorry, some schools have failed in that area. And we no longer live in the era where parents, can actually leave their children for their neighbors to raise. Back in those days, anybody can help correct your child. It is no longer today. It is social media that does the thing. A child will be dealing with something, the child will go on social media. Instead of confiding in you, the parent, the child will go on social media to confide on friends and unknown strangers. People they don't know, and they will give them crazy advice. Please wake up and do your job. Wake up, I beg you. In your busy lifestyle, wake up, create time. And know that it is not forever. It's just for a while. How many years are we looking at here? Yeah. How many years are we looking at? So try your best and know that this child will not remain a child forever. There's a time, this formative age, just give them that attention. When they've crossed that formative age, you can now rest and take a deep breath. You can now drink water and say, yes, I know that everything I've instilled into this child is going to help the child in life. But if you've not done anything, don't expect anything. We need to help these children overcome the mental challenges. We need to help them overcome this pressure from friends, from social media, especially from social media. They are seeing the things happening. They are seeing all this mess. Some of them want to try it out without really knowing the consequences. One boyfriend is not worth a life. If they serve you breakfast, you chop and waka. Let them know. I mean, breakfast is normal. Serve, yes, you chop it and move on. The person is not worth it. But it is you, the parent, who will help that child understand it. They don't know any better. They don't know. Stop being too strict. Mommy Fechi have spoken here. Oyoyo have spoken here. Being a carer with Kes have spoken. Zoe have spoken. Olufunke, they have spoken here. Help out. Shouting is over. It's, in fact, shouting eradicate. We need to. I know you cannot stop shouting, but don't shout unnecessarily. Where when you shout, the children will say, she's already backing again. She's already, her mom have started again. No. Being a carer with care said that don't let your children predict you. Be unpredictable. Why? So that today, if you shout, tomorrow they're expecting you to shout. You're quiet. You're just looking at them. And they're wondering, hey, mommy is not shouting. Hey, there's fire on the mountain. Okay. They need to sit down and think. The day you are quiet, they're expecting you to shout. That day you shout. Some days they don't expect that you're going to hit their behind, and you do that. They were like, it's going to come to them as a shock. So be unpredictable. Don't be predictable. Let your children not expect what you're going to do next. Otherwise, now see finish. If they know you with flogging, they get used to it. And when they get used to flogging, all they'll be doing is or they she. They know worst case you beat. If you finish beating, you get tired and rest. It's your hand that will pain you. I've heard children that said that to their parents. You will beat and get tired, and you will be flogging a child. The child will flog and go job. Why? Because the child is used to flogging. If he's shouting, you shout and get tired. The child is used to shouting. So need to establish that relationship so that when you speak, your children will listen to you. When you talk, they will pay heed to your advice. When you pray for them, that prayer will work in their lives. Don't be too religious. Be more spiritual. Always pray and be ahead and be proactive so that God will help you make the right decision. Thank you, everyone. Mom Elsie, thank you. Oyoyo's word. I appreciate you being a carer with Care Silver Outreach. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, everyone, for the thumbs up. I really do appreciate your presence here. It's been 3 hours here. God bless you, Cornelius, my darling husband. You are amazing. Thank you for your love and your support. Thank you, everyone. At home with Mansa Queen, thank you. Thank you, Vicky's Corner. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you. Thank you, guys. You all have been so amazing. Do have a beautiful night rest, okay? I love you guys. Let's do the same time tomorrow. Mrs. Beans Farm, thank you so much. Julie AC, I appreciate you. Thank you all. Zoe, thank you so much. Collins, thank you. UC and UD, thank you. Mommy Fechi, God bless you. Pretty Happy, Trending Gist with Octavia Cora. Thank you, BMC, Black Money Cups. Thank you. Relax and enjoy. Thank you so much. You all have been so amazing. I love you. Have a beautiful night rest, okay? Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Yeah, please thumbs up. Bye, everyone. Bye. I love you guys. Bye. Thank you.